Welcome to VCT Game Changers Asia Pacific Series Open to Playoffs Day number 3. We are your casters for today. My name is Taylor. With me is Saya. And for today, and this is a sub stream that we have right here prepared for all the viewers and for all the fans of the respective teams.
That is right. And today we are going to witness another exciting battle between Aresta and, of course, X10Crit. So this is the lower bracket, so one of them can only be the one to be victorious and still continue on the tournament journey. But before anything else, in a bit, we will get to see the whole FSL circuit and, of course, the respective calendar of events. There you go.
Speaking of, like you said, we have here our roadmaps at the calendar of events, as you can see on your screen. For stage 1, we are looking at the VCT Open. For Game Changers as well, we have stage 2 right there for Open Overtime. And we have stage 3 as the last chance qualifier for the teams that still want to make it to the elite, which is stage 4 we have here around October this coming year. So it's just nice to see how the teams will falter and how the other teammates or team members that didn't get to hop in here in Open 2 in making a chance to make it to the elite stage.
Definitely. So they are given a lot. And of course, with each open, there are prizes in store. For this specific open, we do have a total of 5,000 US dollars, which is breaked respectively right here. 7th to 8th will get 150, 5th to 6th will get 300, 4th 600, 3rd 800, 2nd 1,200 USD, and finally the first placer will get 1,500 USD. But not all that. Of course, these winners of our each open, may get a chance to have their spot for the upcoming elites. But of course, that is for the later parts to come. And of course, in the next one, we will get to see the leaderboards for this open too.
Ooh. As you can see, we have here our leaderboards for the entirety of Game Changers that we have right now. Asia Pacific Series. Of course, the number 1 still on that spot is Alter Ego Celeste with a total of 20 points. This is not surprising at all for all the opens that FSL had before. Alter Ego Celeste is always and has always been at the top. Next to them is we have X10Crit with 17 points, so not too far off with Alter Ego Celeste, knowing that yesterday's match with Alter Ego Celeste, Bren Esports was able to get one map away from them. They seem to be mortals right around this point.
Definitely, it's quite on par. And there is that quite of impact with having an IGL from before and up to now. But still, Alter Ego Celeste is able to get on top with that 2-1 scoreline. And yet Bren Esports, still one of the history makers here with a new name, under a new name, was able, as you mentioned, to get a map from them. Now the question is that going to be a trend right now, or will Alter Ego Celeste still remain on top? But we will find that out on the later parts of our open. But right now, we will be seeing the teams that were able to
That's a lot.
register for this open too. And I hear that this is like 2 pages. That's like all the way up to Group P. So imagine that. So a lot of teams, a lot of female teams were able to join in towards our open too. So, but only 8 remain here, Terar.
Wow, hundreds of players and a huge amount of teams joining here in our Asia Pacific Series. But like you said, only 8 remains. That is Alter Ego Celeste, X10Crit Esports. We have Bren Esports as well. We have Zol Meraki, Team SMG Aresta, which is going to be playing later on, Gamdeng, and Orangutan. So we can look at this top 8 teams that we have. Very much familiar names that we have right here as well, and very much familiar faces with the respective teams, despite we have new names, as we call it, in the team organizations. These are players that have been here and has always been joining the league for so many times or so long ago already. And it's nice to see how the game is definitely changing with this female league that we have, in courtesy, of course, of Valorant.
Of course, and like that, like what you said, a lot of female teams have joined here. It only goes to show that the female scene is really quite expanding, and FSL is just really a good tournament to let these females show off what they can do as well in FPS playing in general. So right now, in a bit, we will be proceeding to like their respective map selections for this one, because again, this is going to be a one best of three series between Aresta versus X10Crit.
It's a do or die for them because as we look into the brackets later on, we are going to be looking at what teams, respective teams, are hopping towards the next stage or the semi-finals, or rather the grand finals. And then this is the lower bracket that we have. For the upper bracket, first we have Team SMG and Alter Ego Celeste fighting for their life above us, and looking to see who can go and hop in to the grand finals. On the lower bracket, though, we are looking at the first. Here we have Bren, Esports, Victress, and Zol matching up together. And for the match that we are about to cast here in FSL 2, or rather the second channel of FSL, we have ARS and of course X10, the female team of X10.
Yes, exactly. So X10 has also been the top two in our current leaderboards right now. But then again, they were able to stumble down upon the lower bracket simply because, it wasn't really the X10 that we knew from the previous match that they had on the first day. So with that underperformance, they were able to bounce back up, winning their fight from yesterday's match. And now they're here fighting it once again. But this time, it is going to be between Aresta, who's also been quite popping off as well as their own team. But anything can still happen in towards that drawing board. And right now, in a bit, we'll be going in towards the game. But then map selection is the way to go. So again, this is best of three. So let's see how they were able to, select their maps respectively.
True. As we look into the teams that we have right now playing for today, let's look at the roster here of Aresta. We have 5, or rather 6 players right here. Of course, their sub is in as well. Rudias and Noxy, Nuki, Izengi, Rosie, and Kat on the end of the latter part of the team. Now, the player to actually look forward or to look at here is Rosie. And this is probably one of the players that they should be careful in trying to match up with, especially when it comes to the not only its strategic battles that they have, but also when it comes to the firepower, the aims. It's not a joke with how these teams play right here in the Game Changers.
Indeed, and of course, on the other side of the coin, we'll be getting to see X10Crit roster lineup here. So they will be having 5 members. Ginny, one of the veteran players that we are seeing and very much experience in this line of work. We have Muffin, Alyssa, Baby TZ, and Polly. So we've been mentioning this even from yesterday, that in terms of individual skill or individual gameplay, both of all of these females are basically having their own limelight. So it's also really nice to see other synergy as well, working and making wonders. The only question is the amount of consistency, because we've seen some amounts of performances that were not really the X10 that we know, but there are some that they can just really pop off and get that sweep. So right now, I'm just really excited on how they're going to face off Aresta here, knowing that there is a very, a new threat here, as you may, having that Rosie and her gang as well in the Aresta.
I'm sure that these two have played before, over and time again. And these two teams that we have right here are all Thailand teams. So it is Thailand versus Thailand that we are looking at. So it's the battle of the Thais right now. Who will win? Who will conquer? Of course, we're going to find out later on in a bit. And especially once the map pool, map selection, map veto comes in, we are going to be able to assume or estimate whatever is going to happen for this best of 3 series. And like I said, the map veto is definitely a thing to look out for. So let's take a look at the map vetoes right now. And for today in this best of 3 series, we have the first map as Icebox, selected by Aresta here. And the second would be Breeze, selected by X10. And for the latter map, we have the third map as Split that is selected by the organizer, the third team that is joining the tournament. No, I'm joking. It's the organizer, obviously.
This is very interesting because X10 also chose Breeze into their yesterday's match, and they were able to dominate with a whopping score of 13-5 from previously. So I'm really expecting X10Crit to basically win their map, and as well as with Aresta, since they are the ones who chose this and everything went down the line. Pretty sure that it is possible that we may get into 3 games, but it still depends on how their performance is going to be. They may be. I'm also am expecting a similar lineup in terms of agents, specifically for Icebox here, because we've been seeing that trend time and time again.
Not only that, but this icebox selection was actually from Aresta. And looking at
Mm.
the statistics that we have as well,
Mm.
is that X10 have fairly played this map as well in the recent opens that we are looking at here in Game Changers. And out of the 7 times they played this, they won 6 times. So that is a
Mm.
big amount of percentage we are looking at. It's 86% win rate for the side of X10. So for the first map, looking at it is kind of a 50-50, I would assume. And
Mm.
Aresta would probably have something in mind on how they can cancel out X10 here. A while ago, we are looking at the brackets, the maps, and right now we have Breeze right here. So let's talk about Breeze. These 2 first maps that we are looking at are fairly long range maps.
Mhm.
So it is going to be literally a battle of aim duel from afar. So is
Indeed.
that a big thing for these 2 teams that we have here, Saya?
I mean, specifically for X10, I mean, I did mention it, they were quite dominating for this Breeze. And looking at their stats, they have never lost their
True.
Breeze map. So that alone leaves a huge impact. And looking at Aresta right now, they haven't really had a match, to say the least, for Breeze. So that's going to be pretty interesting here for our game number 2. But for game number 1, though, this is also going to be quite an interesting fight, because both of them are able to have their own record here. It's just so happens that X10 has more games in terms of playing in Icebox. So despite Aresta choosing this map, it's still quite really shaky on how things are gonna get up here, since we do know that X10, once given that right amount of momentum, they are able to drive it. So Aresta, basically one of their objectives is to prevent that from happening.
Definitely true. I completely agree with you when it comes to trying to not make it happen for the rest of the teams as well. And we talked about the map selection, the map pool that we are looking at, and fairly enough, I would say this can probably go on the side of X10. I'm just heading out with the predictions right here based on the map pool alone. But as we know, this can be a pocket pick coming in from Aresta as well. We know that they haven't played the Breeze map here in the
Mhm.
open, recent, or rather this open that we have right now. And this is professional teams that are joining the Valorant Game Changers. I would assume that they have something prepared for each and every map, despite not having a stats when it comes to the coming open that we have right now.
Definitely, because they have to be prepared in each and every map that is going to be, laid upon them here, despite not being able to encounter it for quite some time, or not being able to fight it against those many teams for them to actually get that top 8 spot. So right now, also seeing the third map, if ever we were to get into game number 3, it is the same thing or the same feat, quite the similar pattern. X10Crit also does have the amount of experience for this specific map. So although they do won it by at least, they do have the advantage here. I'm still pretty excited to see what kind of gameplay Aresta is going to dish out for us, because again, anything can still happen. There may be some whiffs that may be happening in the in duels, or maybe some outplays that can come and go. But at least in terms of the stats alone, I may be agreeing with you as well here. I may side for X10Crit.
Oh, they have a fairly big chance when it comes to the map selection. And just a quick touch up on the teams that we have right now while waiting for our game to start. Like I said a while ago, these 2 teams that we have, Aresta and X10, all coming in and hailing from Thailand. And for Aresta, if you're not familiar with the name, this team mainly compromises ex-Arikat players. So we have seen them in the previous opens already, and this is not a new name. Like we mentioned a while ago, it might be a new name for organizations, but the players that we have right here has been here for a long, long time. And as we mentioned for Aresta, the one player to look out for that typically uses the Killjoy or Brimstone is definitely Rosie. Now, touching up on that specifically, I would love to see how the growth and how the teams are shining, especially when they have a good controller agent or when they have a good sentinel agent that is on the team, or a player rather.
Looking at their stats right here, at least for Aresta, specifically for Rosie, which is we are giving highlight right now. She does use the Sentinel here, mostly on the Killjoy. So she does have a very good win rate coming in from the Killjoy here, and so she's kind of switching in between the Viper and the Killjoy. She does have a Brimstone as well, but unfortunately, the match that she had that kind of went into a loss. So that being said, so I kind of expect that she will be choosing this Killjoy mainly because it's a comfort pick. But starting it with Icebox, the preferred agents usually have double duelists here. So do you think that's gonna have an impact? Because for X10, they only have the Jet. At least their preferred comp will be having like the Jet, and then they do have a lot of utility usages here. You have the Cypher, you have the Sky, Sova, and Viper for X10. For Aresta, they have double duelist lineup, and basically, will compromise for the remaining sets, preferably a Killjoy or a Smoker with the likes of Omen and Intel Gathered with Sova. So those are quite a different take on how they'll be having Icebox.
It is very typical for Southeast Asia players to actually use a double entry that we have for the teams, and it's very typical in Asian countries or Asia region when it comes to Valorant as well. It happens in the regular VCT season, it happens here in Game Changers as well, and I don't think that would change up even with the meta changing as well. Right now, as we wait for the teams and for the players to get ready, we are just gonna jump in a very short break. When we get back, the first match is gonna start here for the best of 3 between X10 female crit and rather X10 Crit female team, and also we have the other team, Aresta. Going back to you later on, guys. This is VCT Game Changers Asia Pacific Series.
Hi, nice to meet you, Ginny. Actually, we've met before a long time ago, but this is our first time meeting since then. It's been like what? I think like 6 years? It's been a long time. It's been a long time. So I'm really excited. And I heard that you are going to be playing in this year's VCT Game Changers. So can you share with me what you're most excited about?
Actually, I heard about the Game Changer World Champion, but I'm not sure it's true or not. But I really hope it's female tournament can go to the world.
I mean, that would be really cool though, because let's be real here, what's really crazy is that we don't see any girls on the world stage. So it's nice that we have another way to qualify other than going through the normal qualifiers, because let's be real here, as a girl, it's like a lot more pressure, right, Ginny?
Yep.
Okay, so can I know how your team has been preparing?
Right now we practice like full time, Monday to Friday. We practice from afternoon until evening. We really want to win the tournament.
Okay, so Ginny, I just want to tell you like FYI, I just found out about this, but for VCT Game Changers, they have their own World Championships, which is even cooler in my opinion, because then you'll be competing against the best of the ladies, and it'll be really cool. So just kind of segue into that, what is your opinion about having an all-girls World Championship?
I think it's really good because I think Valorant never make it before about the girl tournament. This year is really like give chance to all the girls to prove themselves.
Okay, that makes sense. So now that we know about that, how do you think your team will be doing in the tournament?
My team will do really well because we practice really hard and we fixing a lot of problem, and some more we got sponsor organized from X10. Yeah, they support us very well.
Compared to how the guys team is playing, do you think your strats will be similar, or is it very different?
Not really that much different, just like play style and team play. Yeah, but I think that is not problem.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so what goals do you guys have for the VCT Game Changers 2022? Like, what are you aiming for?
Of course, champion.
Wow! Champion! On a scale of 1 to 10, can you give me your confidence level? 10 being like the most confident.
9.9.
Wow, 9.9! Okay, we love a confident queen. I like that. What's the 0.1?
Maybe it's a bad day.
Yeah. Okay, I like that. Like everyone has bad days, and I have to agree with that. That's good. You have that in mind. You're like 3 steps ahead, perhaps. You mentioned that before you have like an organization supporting your team. So what difference does it make having an organization support your team as opposed to being a team without any support from an organization?
X10 is support us really well. They give us a salary or what the thing we need and boot camp. Because from the past, we almost never practice at all. Yeah, we just like play together and scream like 1 or 2 times per month. Yeah, but
Per month?
yeah, but after we get organized, so we have to practice and make everything like step by step. Yeah.
So basically, with the salary, you guys are able to full-time train and play together. Because what I'm seeing that you guys are right now in a gaming house.
This is my house, but we
Oh.
going to gaming house soon.
Okay, so what do you guys think sets you guys apart from the rest of the competition in the VCT Game Changers?
We really close to each other in game and in real life. We meet up each other, like party, hang out.
Wow.
And we very close, so it make easy to talk each other about the problem or in game.
So basically, now that you mentioned that you guys have like actual bond, like friendship, does it mean like when you move, your teammates will move according to you? Like they already know what's gonna happen? Kind of like, I wouldn't say mind reading, but because you guys play together so much, you guys can actually read your body movements, kind of like that?
Yeah, it's like that.
Ooh. Okay, I'm really excited to see. Right now, my final question to you is there anything you'd like to say to your fans or your supporters? I know because you've been in the esports scene for so long, so I'm sure that you have like a fan base out there.
ยังไงก็ฝากติดตามทีม X10 เนี่ยนะคะแล้วก็นี่ก็เป็นครั้งแรกเลยที่จินนี่ลองตัดสินใจมาเล่นทีมหญิงแบบจริงจังยังไงก็ฝากเชียร์และให้กำลังใจด้วยค่ะจะทำเต็มที่ให้ดีที่สุดค่ะ
Your fans and your fan base would absolutely support you, and they'll follow you no matter where you go, and I'm really excited to see where you'll be able to go, Ginny. So yeah, champions, that's what you're going for. I'm excited.
Yeah, I hope so.
Wow, nice to meet you, Lucille. So, if you guys don't know, Lucille, as she mentioned before, is from Team Vitality, and you are also going to be participating in the Valorant VCT Game Changers this year. So, my question for you is, how excited are you? What are you most excited about?
Actually, the most excited thing is, of course, we will be competing against other female players. So like playing with my teammates and having new friends, like when we compete, right? Then we can get to know new friends because we go for scrims and everything.
Okay, so you mentioned that you've made friends in scrims, and it's most likely the same people that you're going to be competing against. So my question is, what's it like seeing your friends in the middle of a tournament? How do you feel about it?
Sometimes we just like say hi, we meet again. Say hi and give love, like love.
Aww, you guys are so wholesome. So you did mention that you have been scrimming. That's one of your preparations. Other than that, what are your team's preparations so far, Lucille?
Actually, cause we're studying, right? So we just only started screaming like this month, and then Bila is preparing for her wedding also. So we just play on our own, and sometimes we play together also.
If Bila is getting married, does she play Valorant with her future husband?
Yeah, of course. They're like a duo, you know.
They're a duo, so it's like a Pocket Sage and a Jet issue, or is it a different, cooler duo?
She's more like a brimstone main, I guess.
Brimstone's not a bad wife material, I guess.
Daddy Brim.
Daddy Brim. Okay, so coming back to my questions earlier, now that we're going to VCT, how well do you think your team is going to be performing?
I think that our team will do just fine the next FSL because I believe even though we didn't really have much time to prepare together, each one of us still have their individual skills and this improve a lot, like because like they play every day and we still play together though.
Okay, so just now we were talking a bit, and I did ask you who is your in-game leader, and your answer was
Everyone is the in-game leader. We listen to each other every round. We have different ideas for it.
Since you don't have an in-game leader, does your team have a lineup, Larry?
Mine is Killjoy.
Uh-huh.
And then Alema is Sova. And Bila is Brimstone.
Okay. I'm just sad because for Heaven C, even there was a lineup for Brimstone, but there was a Jet that dashed forward and can block that. So hopefully Bila will be able to pick a different lineup for that certain
Okay, we
strat.
still have the Killjoy lineup.
What goals does your team have for VCT Game Changers 2022?
Want to reach elite and like have fun playing together. Elite is like the last one, is it?
Yeah, I mean, like, you
Yeah,
could
I
go
mean, we can-
higher, like
Yeah.
champion.
Yeah, maybe champion for elite. Yeah, we just like have fun to play together, you know.
Have you guys ever had a fight during your non-IGL moments? Like, you guys are like putting out ideas and like, does that happen?
In the middle of the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's maybe sometimes there's quarrels or something. Then after that, I'll tell them to like, it's okay, like chill, it's fine.
How do you guys handle tilt?
We don't really tilt that much. Some rounds that like different people will tilt, and then like different person will say like it's okay, like chill, it's fine.
I know that your team also does have an organization right now, and you guys are still new with the organization, I believe.
We have organization. The organization is like Teleti, but we don't have sponsors.
You know, since you guys don't have sponsors, but you do have an organization, how does that affect how you guys train and play and even compete?
So far, we're just doing everything on ourselves lah. So I think if we have like a support or something, then it might be better like for the team scheduling and finding tournaments, so that maybe we can have someone to like give opinions on like our team plays and everything, like to improve our team capabilities.
Oh, that makes sense. So speaking of that though, do you guys have a coach?
Yeah, we have a coach. Harsh boyfriend.
What? Okay. And how's that going so far?
It's doing fine so far, yeah.
Honestly, you guys are like doing everything on your own, and hopefully if you guys do make it to elite, you guys will be picked up, and I'm really excited about that. But I do have another question for you guys. Talking about scheduling, you guys did say that half of you guys are still studying. So how hard is it juggling between studies as well as, you know, preparing for the competition?
We check our schedule, like the students, we will see on our timetable. We will check which days like it's more available for us to have our trainings. So basically we have our trainings like 2 days a week. Then other than that, we still play together lah. So like that 2 days is compulsory for us, like 5 of us to play together.
And how many hours do you spend training on those 2 days?
3 to 4 hours.
3 to 4 hours.
Yeah, after dinner, then we'll have our scrim or we'll play together.
If say there's like a project or an assignment coming up during VCT Game Changers, do you guys have a backup plan for that?
Yeah, we always have our sub.
Okay, you guys are like 10 steps ahead, I guess. You guys are like prepared. Okay, I like that. So these guys will still be able to play together all the way till the end. What sets your team apart from the competition? I mean, obviously you guys don't have an IGL, so that's already one thing, but what is something else?
Our team is like sisterhood, you know? The sisterhood, we are so close to each other, like we understand each other when we play and everything.
Okay, so my final question to you guys is, I know that your whole team is actually here in the call with us. To all your fans and supporters, what do you want to say to them?
My name is Bella Reno. I'm the captain of Little TSL, and I would like to say to my fans, thank you for supporting us. Please keep love us.
Aww.
And I hope you guys enjoy with our game.
Hi, my name is LTY Alama. I play initiator for the team, and I want to thank all of our LTSL fans. Don't forget to like and follow our social medias, and I love you all. Thanks.
Hello, my in-game name is L2I Heart. I'm the main duelist for Healthy Astel. I want to say thank you for supporting us so far, and we hope you guys will keep on giving us love for the next FSL tournament. Thank you.
I would like to thank all of the Vitality STL supporters. Thank you for watching us and supporting us from behind the screen. Love you guys.
Aw, that's so sweet. I'm sure that they're all really eager for you guys to, make it up there. I do hope that you guys make it all the way up to Elite. So good luck, have fun, and I'm looking forward to all your lineups and your plays, guys. Hi, girls!
Hello. Hi.
Congratulations and great performance last weekend for Open 1. I have a few questions to ask you guys, so I hope you guys will be able to have a chat with me. So, my first question is, how did you guys manage to pick up Zini?
That time Zini doesn't have a team, so she's a free agent. So Japips introduced her to us, and we tried to play with her in scrims to see if she will fit to us. We like her, especially her mindset and attitude, because I believe that's the most important part of being a pro player. And she also knows how to calm us.
Aw, so she's like your Zen Bell or something like
Yeah.
that. Okay. So that's a quick question. If you guys are like panicking or you guys are tilted, what would she say?
Chill, guys. We got this. We can
Apes
still win
together
this.
strong.
Yeah.
Oh, seriously? She says apes together strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were really in the like pressured because it was like one win away to get a map of X10, and we're like, come on guys, we got this. Yeah, apes together strong. We can retake our like go together.
So now let's talk a little bit about your performance in Open 1. So what did you guys think of your team's performance?
We didn't expect it to actually make it out of group stage because everyone it was a stacked group, like group
Yeah.
this, like group of that, and also we encountered a lot of problem along the run because first we don't have a coach and we have to make our plays and strats on our own. Also, we cannot practice effectively or like scream because someone's always lagging. We had to handle almost everything on our own, and yeah, we're just really happy with the outcome.
But let's talk a little bit about your internet problems. Is your internet problems because of the internet in your area, or literally just like because one of you guys is on like maybe a hotspot?
I think for some of us, it's because of the spot. Because Kelly, she even has two networks.
Mhm.
She's switching back and forth
Oh,
with it,
no.
but still, it's still sometimes lag. And some of us just really have bad internet at the beginning. Like it has a schedule with whenever it wants to be lag or not.
Now that you guys know that you guys have internet at a certain time of days, it disconnects and stuff. So during the tournament, did you guys have at any point during you guys were competing, the internet just lags randomly?
Once or twice, yeah, Shirazi disconnected or like she had to change her internet from another network or like open the VPN, switch it.
How did it feel for the team to make your way out of the group of death? Like you mentioned earlier, you guys weren't even sure if you would make it out of there. So how does it feel suddenly just making it out? Like, were you in shock?
Yeah, we were in real shock because we don't know how we actually went out of that group because it was really stacked. And actually, when we beat Asteria, especially with that scoreline, it really gave us a lot of confidence with the coming playoffs because imagine playing against established teams and beating them also with a good scoreline. It was really confidence boosting and also making us happy and more comfortable with our play. Before our group stage, we actually encountered some problems because Alexi had to go somewhere and we had to find someone to stand in for her. So we got Callie, and so after that we had to switch the roles because there's one missing duelist or to fill Alexi. So we asked Shirazi, who's our controller, to play duelist for us, and me and Calypso just share the role to fill Shirazi's controller role. I didn't expect that it was that tough to play Viper on Icebox because Aneri just runs and then headshots that I'm dead. I cannot hold the site, guys. Let's just retake. Come on.
What was the biggest obstacle, or at least which team gave you the most difficulty going through Group D?
It was really
alter ego, Celeste.
alter ego.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. We were kinda nervous at the game with VLT Asteria, but after a while, we just Shirazi thoroughly just kill them, kill them all, clean the site. Oh, just plan. I hold the flank. It's okay.
If you guys could say anything to anyone aspiring to start off playing in competitive, what would you say to them?
Don't give up on your goals.
Yeah.
Oh, not apes together strong?
Next, that's next.
What's next?
Yeah, first you have to not give up first.
Okay.
And like trust on your teammates because apes together are strong.
Exactly. Thank you so much, girls, for spending some time with us to share with us how your experience have been during the VCT Game Changers. I hope to see you guys again soon with maybe better internet as well as better results. So I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Show me what you got. Back that up, 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 back back, back, back up, back, back up, back, back up, back, 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 Got the money in the bank. Hit you with the bank. Hit you with the hit you with the 808. Hit you with the hit you with the 808. Bang to the break, bang to the break, bang to the break, bang, 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 bang. I'm a boss, and you know that I'm finna shine. Got the money in the bank. Got the money in the bank. Got the money in the bank, 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 bank. Got the money in the bank. Hit you with the 808. Hit you with the hit you with the bank. Hit you with the hit you with the 808. Hit you with the hit you with the 808. Bang to the break, bang to the break, bang to the break, bang, 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 bang. I'm a boss, and you know that I'm finna shine. Got the money in the bank.
And welcome everyone back to the Valorant Game Changers APAC Series FSL Open 2. And once again, we are casters for this afternoon. My name is Zaya, and with me is Tayrar. So of course, I know the long wait have happened, but you know, guys, we would want you guys to watch this matchup at the most optimized condition. And of course, without further ado, we will be proceeding to the agent selection within the first few minutes of our game. So again, this is the battle between Aresta and X10Crit female.
Just for the people who just tuned in, basically for the stream, we had our map veto a while ago before we went into the break. And the first map is going to be Icebox. Next to that is Breeze. And then our decider map, which is split later on if we reach the map 3 that we are looking at. But like you said, Seiya, it is going to be X10 versus ARS that is playing here on our sub stream. We have ongoing matches as well on the main FSL page or Twitch, and also live on Facebook, by the way. So you can check that out, whichever platform you're comfortable of. And maybe soon, we have a podcast or something like that. Well, imagine
Maybe.
on Spotify, there is a live casting happening. The dream.
The dream, of course. But we will be seeing that on the future. But right now, we are going to see the action of this lower bracket to see who still gets to continue on our tournament journey here. Will it be X10, who has been very much known into the scene here, of course, with the experience and the longest of times that they have been? Or would it be Aresta here? Of course, despite having new names, they're still on the same scene with the same goals. So right now, both have different storylines, and I'm very much excited to witness their fights here because despite the stats that we do have right now leaning in towards X10, I still believe that maybe Aresta can give us some highlights of their own.
We already had some a bit of a talk when it comes to the teams, to the players as well, and with regards to the map veto, we actually predicted, both of us here on the
Mm.
caster, we predicted on the side of X10, looking at the long range battle, and then knowing the map pool of X10 as well. They play well on Icebox. They also have good statistics when it comes to Breeze specifically, which a map that they actually chose. So I'm looking forward to this matchup. Aside from that, of course, with certain changes for the controller agents past weeks, and certain change when it comes to Brimstone as well. So with regards to the agent selection, agent picks that we have right here, especially for Icebox, that has a bit of a change as well. They also had a bit of a change when it comes to the Icebox map. So these two teams that we have right now, X10 and Aresta, we are looking at the agent picks, agent selection, like we mentioned, and the defender side will start on the side of X10. We are looking at a chamber, a very very popular pick here in Game Changers and also in the regular VCT season as well. He's fit into the meta pretty quickly as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, Chamber can really be so much proactive in towards the maps, whether it's A or B. The fact that he has like the rendezvous and of course a free sheriff at the very start of your games. I mean, you would really like that kind of advantage, and as well. Chambers kits also work well with Icebox into this map with a lot of quarters that he can play around with his teleports here and also with his cameras that can really be fitting. But of course, we've also had like a talk earlier about how their agent selections is going to be. Basically, they will be sticking to their guns. Aresta having that double duelist lineup, very much a common strategy here in our region per se. And of course, X10 will be more additional utility usage here, so they're quite I think they will be focusing a bit more on a map control, probably going to be playing for peaks at the very, starts of our game, trying to dwindle down that manpower before they can actually commit to sites. But then again, this is all just on paper. What do you think, Taylor?
It is all on paper when we look at the stats, but it just fairly drops down or boils down on how the teams will perform on the specific match. Of course, we know X10 has been here for a long time already, very familiar faces. They've had their fair share of wins and loses as well, or losses rather. And for the side of ARS, this is also a team that joined the league for a long time as well, and they've met each other, like we said a while ago. If you just tune in, these two teams we have right here are both from Thailand, so fairly enough, and I would assume that they have met before and played before, as we look into and head into the first game of the day. And this is a best of three. Like we said, it's a do or die situation right now for the teams. It's either they win or they get kicked out of the circuit right now here in Game Changers Asia Pacific Series. We know that we have other opens as well, but it racks up when it comes to the points. It's not just if you win this or if you lose this open, you're gonna lose some points as well. So you have to stay until you can stay and even try to win the championship, just in order to make differences, changes into the leaderboards per se that we looked at a while ago.
Of course, and it's not just about you really earning those bragging rights that you are able to really stand tall in towards our leaderboards, but also this will give you a chance to really have that spot for the elite, and that's basically one of the end goals here throughout the FSL circuit, in which I'm pretty sure the girls are really aiming for here towards even at the very start of Open 1. So we mentioned this one last year. Alter Ego Celeste has been very much dominant in all of the open, even elite per se. So right now in this year, with all of that teams, imagine groups A up to group P, maybe one of those teams can have the possibility to dethrone at least one open, possibly to against our reigning queens. But right now we will be focusing first on this tournament journey between X10Crit female and Aresta, and we'll get to see who gets to stay, at least for this open too.
We are looking at the Asian picks a while ago. Like you said, the double duelist setup that we have for Aresta can definitely work out in their favor when it comes to the attacker specifically. But X10 here picking the chamber is a big factor to consider, knowing that they want to push in and they want to get those frags. Picking or choosing a Sentinel in this kind of specific role where he has the rendezvous, he has, of course, the headhunter, and all the other utilities to actually frag out. And this is Muffin already getting the first kill, but he wasn't able to look down and see Izen on the corner. And that is just a one-to-one trade. Just a quick flash and out to the players that we have right here. That is a one-to-one, and X10 and Aresta, the same thing. But Sawa is actually very low. 10 HP remaining for her right now, and this is going to be quite difficult to entry in. Aside from that, probably the Reina is going to be the second entry. So I don't know how they will do this entry right now.
To be greeted with the chamber as well, you have to take note into that. But with that, Lear is going to get their presence, get that first kill, beautiful tap, plus that rendezvous, Zinni for the trade of her own as well, all the way to a 2v1. The spike has not been planted yet, and this could be a bit iffy for Izangi at the moment, because she has to consider the crossfire capabilities that is gonna come from X10Crit. Look, they're just basically waiting for her to plant. Taking this crossfire at a good aim, still just Juggle Speak able to dwindle the health, and Polly just ends it up to get the first point.
There you have it, X10 just getting that first round to set the momentum for the rest of the team. And we all know how important it is for pistol rounds to be taken care of. This is the start. This is how your team will look like and have that gain of confidence when looking at the next following rounds as well. And for the side of X10 and Aresta, it was fairly played slow. They had that slow pushes. They want to go for a pick, and they were able to get one pick at a time. But on the other hand, X10 was just able to stop them at their toes, especially maybe TZ having the chamber. It is a very powerful gun that she probably has already immediately. Now, going back here, though, waiting on the corner is Polly with the, of course, the gun that she has right now. Once you go out, three of you, you're just gonna be bursted down. This is a Spectre.
Indeed. And of course, this is the good about Polly. He knows how to play around this map right here. But look at the Sheriff kill. Was able to miss here. But again, this is the power of a Spectre. Nice wall to cover her up just to force that reposition. And now we are seeing the Bulldog prowess. But again, manpower was in the hands of Aresta. So both our Vipers were able to take the kill for the team, and the spike has been planted. Maybe TZ Love Mom will be getting Zengi down. I do love my mom too. And of course, this is going to be the post-plant situation. They were able to get that extra eco, but numbers advantage still on the hands of X10Crit, as they do have Spectres on their arsenal. And just like that, Elisa cleans it up as well to get their second point.
Their only goal right now for the side of Aresta is to actually get some kills as much as they can, just destroy that economy that they had. And the timing was definitely not in favor of Ginny, as she tries to hop out of the situation. She was just caught off guard when the wall came down from the Viper as well. So this is gonna hurt when it comes to the economy of X10, but not so much. It's still their bonus, and they can play out the bonus rounds as well for X10. On the other hand, for Aresta, this time around, they are gonna be able to buy those Vandals or those Phantoms that they might need for this specific round. Will the pacing change? That's the question. We've seen very slow plays for the two respective teams, but this is maybe just a positioning power from both teams coming in here, and just want to see how they actually push or how they actually defend.
Exactly. So right now, I guess the best bet here for the side of Aresta is to try a more aggressive push, as you've mentioned, because both of these teams are having a slightly slow-paced action. I think taking X10 Crit off guard would be the better play, since this is their bonus round. So now Aresta does have their respective rifles to work with here. So if they are able to play along that, because manpower-wise, I think Aresta does have it. The only question is the timing, as you've mentioned.
Really depends. If they get a pick, this is going to be a pacing change for the rest of the team of Aresta. But right now, they're not looking at anyone. Rosie was able to spot one. Sawa goes out and sees one out here. That is Polly down already out of the equation. And it's now a 3v4 situation. They have the Vandals right now. But this is the ultimate coming in from Baby TZ. She sees one, gets the kill, looking for another. And Alyssa, Rosie just with a triple kill already on this round. Low on HP, but still managed to get those kills. Stay alive still. Baby TZ detected. The timing is definitely off. And Nuki just to shut her down completely. 2-1. But there were 2 casualties on the side of Aresta. That's gonna hurt for the economy as well.
Indeed, the economic disparity is quite surreal here right now, Terror. But then again, for the side of Aresta, that recon bolt was very much beneficial for their team, knowing that, you know, at any time, Baby TZ could have just repositioned at a different angle, but didn't really have the time to hide under a nest. So that alone was really nice for Nuki to just clean up the crew. So again, we are quite seeing a bit of a challenge in terms of how their weapon's going to be. But for X10, knowing that they are defenders, they do have the luxury to wait here for the peaks. And right now, seeing as Ginny, if I'm not mistaken, as the Jet for X10, Muffin rather, is already aiding or just made a switch with Polly. She's now in B and now Polly's at A. So I guess this could give more control for them. But Ginny brings out the drone from kitchen, spots out Sawa at the moment. And here, I think they're just playing for time. They're like waiting for potentially a slight peak coming in from X10.
That just basically means they're playing in the cards of X10 right now. They're not taking control so far. But when it comes to map control, Sawa is trying to push here on mid. But the thing is, there's no one. And I think she's been spotted by someone as well coming in from X10. They're playing for picks right now. But for how long are they going to play this out? It's already 33 seconds remaining until they can plant up the spike. They have the wall for the side of X10. They have walled up A side completely as well. Now, once they try and decide to hop in on this side, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna take some damage and vulnerability. Alisa getting 1 kill already. That is Sawa out. And another one bites the dust. That is Nuki. Now 2 players remain for the side of Aresta. One by one, they all just falter. And Izengi is just the remaining player right here. X10Crit just cleaned up the crew from the side of Aresta on A side, completely shutting him down. 3-1.
That was a beautiful usage of the wall coming in from Polly, knowing that she was able to isolate the fights there, first taking Nuki down with the wall up, and now with the recon bolt, Rudy's was spotted in towards that corner. Polly just easily get that spray down and really just popped off onto the very end for their team's benefit. So right now, I'm liking this alternate shakeup that's coming in from Muffin and Polly, because anything at this point can be, unpredictable for the side of X10.
Yeah.
So because this wall that's coming in from the Viper of Aresta is here, it's quite predicted that they're gonna go to B site. But Sawa was able to tap down Polly to get that kill.
This is an eagle for the side of Aresta. Getting that 2 picks is already a big advantage for them, but how will they play it out the rest of the rounds or the rest of the entirety of this round? Baby TZ was able to spot one. Izangi goes down. Next to her is Sawa, and now making it even. A 3v3 situation. They have the guns right now for the side of X10, and for the side of Aresta, they're trying to control B. The thing is, they have that double duelist, right?
Yeah.
But on the side of Aresta, it seems like they're really scared to peek. They're going and playing for picks right now, but there's no picks at all happening aside from what happened a while ago, but completely immediately getting shut down by X10 yet again. They play too slow.
Indeed, I will agree with you on that. The fact that they do have double duelists meant that they should really not have hesitations, and of course the aggression should be a bit more speedy in terms of timing. And just like that, from the flank, Baby TZ takes her 4K over there to get as well their 4th point. So this as well, because of that timing and because of that hesitation, X10Crit is just capitalizing on that, and they're the ones being on the aggressive despite being on the defensive side.
Literally playing in the cards of X10 right now is Aresta. And as this timeout is about to come off, I would just assume as well for the side of Aresta, they're trying to pinpoint where the enemies might be, what position they might have. But the thing is, like, what happened in that specific round, they were on an eco. They were able to get 2 pickoffs. That basically means they have that man advantage already. And they weren't able to capitalize on that. They didn't push at all. They still waited on B long until they just got squeezed in by X10 players right here. Even on the T spawn a while ago, it was too late already. That's why people or the team of Aresta were other team members rather for the side of Aresta was still stuck in that position, and they were still getting cleaned up by X10 completely. So they have to find a way on how they can use that aggressiveness of X10 into their positioning instead.
Exactly. I do agree on you with that, because simply the duelist lineup, having that double duelist lineup, and of course the fact that they are attackers as well, means that they have to be more aggressive than they are, especially with this lineup, because I feel like they will be having a bit of a struggle in terms of the defensive side in having both the Jet and the Reyna. So maybe the best possible way to do here, maybe one of the duelists can either go for flank, just to sandwich the members of X10Crit, or since they do have double duelists here, one will go to just for the distraction and the other goes for the entry. But Muffin here starts it off with the op kill, taking down the Sage.
They have enough capital to buy an operator already. They are not detected at all by the drones or by any means by the Recon as well. Muffin was able to spot 2 already with this operator. He's looking to find another kill. Might as well for the players or the remaining players of Aresta right now. This is their buy round. A while ago it was their eco, but this time around they still can't find their footing. They have to go back to the drawing board, get their confidence back online, and make those plays happen. If not now, then when is the question for Aresta. Zengi's just waiting. This is just utilities from X10 coming in. Ultimately, because of the time being boiled down, it just resets all other utilities that can be reset.
You see that ping coming in from Baby TZ and the gang. They're just waiting because they know someone's under this truck right here, or this terrain. So right now, look at how sandwiched they are from mid. They will be greeted by the Sage and by Alyssa, and of course Polly. They don't have time to plant the spike. They will go for the save, but look, they are going to be on the hunt. Rosie is ready to peek right here, but the double or the refrag capabilities are gonna happen. So that's one. Baby TC for the trade, and Polly just ends it once more. And just like that, they caught themselves in quite a pinch. So I don't think the timeout quite worked well here. If I'm not mistaken, that was an Aresta timeout.
5-1 already. X10 just having complete control over the map. Because what are they supposed to do? They're defenders. All they have to do is basically wait. And you can definitely see how impatient they can be at times when they know they have that advantage as well. They can push as well, and they are confident in pushing because they know they can get those kills in. On the side of Aresta, I'm not quite sure why they're having second doubts or like second thoughts when it comes to their entry right now, because ultimately they have that capability, they have that power. Sawa though, the little whip with a Blade Storm, the 2 HP remaining on a Viper because of the wall, and going down hits a lot of damage towards her. They have that ultimate coming in from the Sage as well that they can use, but the players that died is in front of the players of X10 and Aresta right now. Just crossfires.
Exactly, and all the effort trying to really enter the site didn't really went into fruition because there's no a follow-up. Izegi, however, is able to get a trade, but Baby TZ is just there for the cleanup crew as well as with Ginny. And Baby TZ is just popping off here to get their 6th. And at this point, it's as if that the aggression that we are looking for Aresta is actually what the X10Crit is using against them. So this is going to be a bit difficult because, as you said, the second thoughts or the hesitations that's coming in from Aresta, is what's giving them that lackluster in their attacking side.
I honestly think that they just need, for the side of Aresta, they just need one good round to gain that confidence back for the rest of the team as well. They just need to get one round for their side that makes the confidence just boost and ooze for the rest of the team and the rest of the players as well. This drone doesn't have a follow-up right now, just to be able to see whoever is on a side, but once you spot someone, all of the remaining players of Aresta is on the back side, so no one can follow up on that completely. Now with the Reyna using the Empress, the Lear comes in, but there is no one on site. X10 knows how to play this map, and they are definitely showing it right now. Viper spit up and online already, but the players of X10 just playing on the back end, waiting for them to plant or actually plant a spike because the plant isn't there yet. They could just hold this off, but the thing is, Aresta right now, it seems like they're having a good round with only one remaining player, that is Muffin. They want to shut down the operator, and they can do that with 5 players remaining for Aresta. It's a hunt, and this is Muffin maybe trying to save the operator.
Could be, or maybe she wants to attempt and actually getting 1, but Nuki, as we said, was able to get 3 here, and as you mentioned, shuts down and get the operator. But that was a nice attempt, to say the least, for Muffin. At least she was able to try out to check if her prowess could come into fruition. But this is the positive side of winning your rounds to and fro. You're economically healthy, so she can have another operator for this specific round. But then again, if they do lose this one for the side of X10, they may need to save for the next round.
Very good performance coming in from Baby TZ here. Because why? Because she has the ultimate coming in from a chamber, and she is very much capable of getting those long shots in as well. The aim is definitely there for Baby TZ as well. And knowing this is a chamber, she could just reposition herself whenever she wants it.
Helpfully with that rendezvous, but Muffin here opens up our game, starting off taking down that Viper who is trying to at least slowly peek from the side. So now they all know the presence is here. They will be committing. I don't think that they have the luxury to rotate anytime soon. So look at all of these utilities that are being thrown down. They're trying to slow the push or the rotate that's coming in from X10Crit. So they are placing these walls, but again, Polly in the same position, I think spots out Rudy's. Once more gets Nuki in the same position and will be trying to reposition, but tries to wallbang here. Alyssa for the trade, but Polly still wins that fight despite Sawa getting the peeker's advantage.
The Reyna for the team of Aresta is being the first entry right now at this moment, because right now Sawa is also having a hard time. She's been having to deal with the players of X10Crit, and time again she fails to get those aim duel in. She gets no kills right now, and she has to step up the game because this double duelist is already good enough to make an entry. Specifically, if you can create those nuances on the side of X10Crit, you can create space for the rest and the entirety of the team of Aresta. But look at this Lear, no follow-ups at all right now. This is the only blind that they have. And the thing is, for the next remaining rounds, if X10 goes on the attackers, they don't have blind as well. So this is going to be interesting. Maybe they're stronger on the defense.
Indeed. But right now, Muffin with these open entries, it was actually a very nice pickoff coming in from a side, simply because the res coming in from Rudy's is forced to use. So now we are still back at a 5v5 game here, but it is throwing Aresta a bit off guard, or at least there's that moment of hesitation when entering this site. So with that being said, look at the flanking capabilities that X10Crit has right now. You have the Sage, you have the Chamber as well. So they may have a slight difficulty here when trying to take the site. Spots out one, misses the shot. Will be using the Blade Storm here. Viper Spit entering right now for the Viper. Rosie was able to spot out Polly. A little bit of a whiff there coming from Muffin as Sawa takes advantage of that. Nuki, before that wall was raised, was able to take down Ginny, but the res coming in from Alyssa is going to happen. 3 versus 4 now, number advantage. Make it a 3v3 to equalize the board, but Rudy says no and will be taking Alyssa down. Viper Spit, there's no more time. They will be meeting their ends on the Viper Spit. Baby T takes Rosie as well, but Ginny takes one, but with a double, she clears it out for the crew, and Baby TZ just basically became the focus here of the Viper from the behind. So now Ginny had the opportunity to turn around to make this game in their name.
It's the Baby Teasy show, as we call it, ladies and gents. 17 for KD already for Baby Teasy right now on the chamber pick. And for the side of Aresta, they want to try keep shutting her down, but fails miserably. And this is already an 8-2. Now, on the map like Icebox, specifically, this is chosen by Aresta. You would assume that the players for the side of Aresta can have that comfortability, but it doesn't show right now at all. But also, Icebox is a notorious map for comebacks. It always happens here.
Indeed, and it also depends on the side. But look, Isengi had that peak, but then again, Polly's crosshair placement was just so ready for that belt. Seeing as I feel like she already knew that someone is going to peek from that area. And look at the reposition that she did right now. She's not peeking anymore in a hopes that she would not, get traded off, which is actually a good thing. So now the crossfire between Alyssa and Polly is also here in towards A side. A little bit quiet at the moment, but Ginny was able to get one from middle side as well. So they're not really letting the members of Aresta roam too much around the map to avoid that flanking capability. Baby TC, however, spots out Rosie here with only a Sheriff to work with. Because they are saving, it's safe to assume that this is an X10Crit around, unless, a miraculous 50 would happen here.
They have to go in fast, surprise X10. That's the way how they can win. But Sawa already shut down. This is a good bait and switch coming in for the side of X10Crit. The thing is, it's only the Viper's wall that actually supported that Viper, or rather Polly in the corner. And this is Rudy getting one kill, but another shot coming in from Baby TC to secure that round for the rest of the team of X10. You can see the bait and switch capability of X10. They can duel themselves, and they have the support the rest of the team as well. When they use that utilities, they always have that follow-ups, and I think that's what lacking. That is what is lacking with regards to Aresta right now.
Again, it's the aggression. This is I think this is the perfect time for them to shine in terms of the attackers, because again, these are the cards that Aresta have right now. They do have their double duelist. The mobility is there. You have the Sova, potentially for that intel or for that information, but because the threat or the impending threat that's happening with the operator coming in from Muffin, and as well as the peeking capabilities of Baby TZ and Polly for X10. This is why they're quite being slow in terms of pushing, or they're trying to try to out them with manpower. But the problem is, because they're taking too much time in terms of trying to take a site, the players of X10 are already in a good position to rotate whenever.
They can just do those retakes quickly. And aside from that, even those refrags as well, they are just available for the rest of the entirety of the team. They have good support coming in right now. TZ going down by Nuki, getting that shot in. It is a good opening for the rest of the team, but they have to clear out the back end. They have to clear out yellow. That is Muffin going down. This is the Aresta that we are looking at. This is the Aresta that we are looking for. The fast, the switch, and right now for X10Crit, the ultimate coming in, and no one is being tagged in by this Hunter's Fury right now. Aresta looking good. They are deciding at this position, at this point, deciding to completely rotate to A side. No one is there to be able to stop them on mid or cut off those rotations, but immediately X10, quick rotations as well. This is the pacing of X10 right now. Quick, no problem at all. Silverdrone going out, and this is Polly hopping out as well to get that kill. Despite the disadvantage, 1 second remaining to plant the spike. It still goes in. There is the spray transfer, and but still, X10 was able to get that shot in. Alyssa to support the rest of the team. Wow.
Making the best out of the worst situations here. X10Crit literally wiped them out despite that disadvantage, as you mentioned, though. So there were a lot of things that we had to consider during that fight. So at the very start, Aresta was able to get 2 from B side, trying to clear out yellow in hopes of potentially planting it to B. But then they decided to basically rotate towards A, which is actually a good feat for them. But unfortunately, Alyssa was able to spot them out under tube, giving them that signal to rotate quickly towards rafters. And just like that, they were able to at least get one down. And despite the collateral that happened between there, Alyssa was in the other side of the area, able to clean that round up, and that was amazing performance coming in from X10Crit.
That last round is the Aresta that we are soughing after, looking after. This is the halftime break now. While the switch is happening, this is the perfect time to actually say what we want to say. And the thing is, for the side of X10, they know how to quickly change up the pace. They realize because of the decision making coming in from Aresta, it wasn't a bad decision at all. But the thing was, it was only 30 seconds, 20 plus seconds if I'm not mistaken remaining. So you would assume if they don't make any noise in B, assume as well, might as well 100% rotate all the way to A site, because you can have complete control over it. You could just deny the plant completely, and at the same time, even if they were able to plant the spike, they are all together. And the thing is, it would reset the time. They have all the time in the world basically for the rest of the team.
Indeed, I agree with you on that. And despite, you did mention that they were all grouped together, so basically it's as if they placed themselves in a corner in which that should have been favorable for them, but because they didn't have the time, as you mentioned, they didn't have also the luxury to position themselves for the post plan. And that, because X10Crit just rotated quickly in towards rafters, really caught them off guard, because they wouldn't really expect that, oh, okay, all 3 members of X10 would just rotate immediately. They would expect that they would like scatter and divide and conquer play, but you know what, that didn't happen. And again, these are one of the things that Aresta also has to consider, that X10Crit, especially with crucial times like that, they do play together as a unit.
For Aresta, they have to go back to the drawing board. Take control of whatever's gonna happen, because I could just assume what X10 is gonna do right now. They know Aresta is not in a comfortable position. This is a lot of rounds to lose for the side of X10. They can just go in whenever they want to, and X10 can play fast, definitely can play past phase. And the thing is, it might surprise Aresta. They are not gonna be able to take control of the side completely. And with regards to that, B side is just being controlled by one player of the side of Aresta, while the other remaining 3 are just waiting on mid and just supporting each other right there. But once the sound is created here on A side, I assume that they would all just rotate. Sawa wasn't able to get the kill. Nuki instead shots one, but Baby TC to secure another. That is a 1-to-1 trade right now, setting up all the TPs and planting the spike for the rest of the team.
Okay, that is already good information from Baby TZ spotting out the Sova of Aresta here. So they were able to plant the spike. So post-plant positions are already at play. Because of that wall coming in from back of the rafters, they don't have the choice to cross over. Rosie will be taking a trade though. Tries to fake defuse Elisa for the trade, but the wall is also above. So here we do see right now that Alyssa and the gang were able to get those kills, but with the help of the wall coming in from Rudy's, still is able to defuse the spike. So not necessarily being able to kill all of the members of X10, but still they got the job done.
Job well done for Aresta. This is what they need, and this is the most important. I would always say this. It is the most important part of the game, of the match that we are looking at. Is the pistol on the second half. Because literally, if you don't get that pistol in for the side of Aresta, it can be a quick 12-2 or 12-1 rather. So with regards 12-2, I'm correct for the first time, but basically giving out that first shot in, or this is the momentum base kind of playstyle coming in from Aresta. Being able to secure that round is a big thing. Now being tagged here, they want to go on mid, they want to go up and create a space for the entirety of X10 right now. Ginny, no one to detect.
And right now they're all going to kitchen, but that location, but the drone coming in from Aresta is so beneficial for them because they are able to have an idea that they went towards mid, not necessarily under tubes, but in towards kitchen. So right now look at them grouping themselves together here in towards kitchen, because which is understandable because they don't really have a lot of weaponry to work with. They're just saving here for the next battle. So here, I think they've heard somewhere along the lines in under tube. Sawa, however, is ready with that crosshair on with the Marshall in under tube. Spots out one beautiful headshot. Is it gonna be another? No! Actually, Baby TZ gets that tap, but Nuki isn't able to get one here. Actually, as I say it, gets Alyssa down.
4v2 situation, X10 stuck in a position right now. They only have 2 remaining players here, and both players are very low on HP. They have to plant the spike with only 10 seconds remaining right now for the rest of the team. All Aresta has to do right now is just to hold the fort, not let them plant, not get them money. This is the shock dart connecting completely, and Izengi just to finish things off, to clean up the rest of the round for Aresta. 10-4. This is what I was also saying a while ago, Seiya. Aresta might have difficulties when it comes to the attackers, but once maybe they go on the defenders, it is probably their strongest suit.
It depends as well, but for now, with the first 2 rounds that Aresta is showing us, I think they will, have that chance to actually climb up in towards our scores. But with the gap currently lined up for us here, X10Crit may as well get those rounds, but right now with the rifles at hand, let's see if this with this upgraded weaponry, let's see if they do have the improvements here, or will they be able to snatch away the bonus round from Aresta. So right now they are in a safe position here for Rosie as she tries to control, but that recon bolt, she stays in towards the side, but is already sandwiched to be greeted by a lot of the members of X10. So right now there are no other players than Bossing Say, which is B, and we're here. Post-plant is already happening, so this is the kind of the swiftiness that we were looking for in Aresta during their attacking side. But right now, this is still, this can still be a retake from our defenders at the moment.
It can be, as Aresta trying to position themselves now for the retake. Lear in, no one to see, but Polly was able to spot one. X10 just cleaned up with a flawless round. 11-4 now is the score. This is the main difference of the 2 teams that we have right here, Seiya. When it comes to Aresta, you can, rather X10, when they shoot a recon, there is Muffin to clear out the angle. There is Muffin to clear out the back end. That is specifically yellow a while ago. Now, on the side of Aresta, we've seen them on the attackers a while ago. They shoot a recon. They get that information. But no one is there to actually follow up. You could see the positioning right there of Rosie. She wasn't able to continue getting a shot in, being detected by the Recon Muffin around him, and then another player in front. That's how it's supposed to be played out, and that is what's lacking a while ago. Let's see how Aresta can now take control, as Hawa was able to get one already, punish one player out of X10, and that is Baby TZ, one of the top fragger.
Indeed, and I agree with everything that you said earlier, because the follow up is very much crucial for this team, and it apparently X10Crit was able to demonstrate that earlier. Going back into the game, manpower here is in the side of Aresta, taking one of the top fraggers of X10. So that's going to be the Viper Spit. The spike has been planted just in time so that Elisa can go and retreat. So they are once again in the post-plant position. Retake is possible. They're trying to sandwich it out. But take note that Polly is also in kitchen. So she can take down Rosie here if she is able to spot her down.
Waiting game. It's what is playing right now for the side of X10 as they are in the post-plant position. Polly probably hearing a lot of footsteps already, but Sawa was able to take control of kitchen. Rosie was able to spot one, getting a kill. Izengi as well, 4-1, and this is the falter of X10 as Aresta was able to secure that retake, defuse the spike, and make this to an 11-5 scoreline. Aresta, they need this so much. They have that confidence boost back and online for the rest of the team, and they just have to continue it.
Exactly. I mean, that games, or the ones that they have been winning for this specific half, is very much vital as well for not just their morale, but also the possibility of catching up to our score lines right now. But for X10, in terms of that post plant, there was a bit of a question in terms of how they positioned themselves. 3 were basically in towards yellow, in which the wall coming in from Rudy's just basically narrowed everything down, so they didn't really have the time to peek the spike. So another thing that they consider right now and towards this game is eyeing out for a site. Look at that drone. There's a lot of utilities that are being thrown here. It only means that they are going with the utilities as they plant the spike right now. This is an interesting plant, however.
Alyssa is just, you know, a person that just wakes up and goes to work. Here's what I'm gonna do. All I need to do is plant and get the hell out of this site. This is exactly what she does over time and time and again. Even on B side a while ago, Rosie was able to spot one already, getting that 2k in, and Sawa just trying to hold down the fort for the rest of the team. They're gonna defuse the spike. Hunter's Fury up and online for Ginny. She canceled it out. She has to do the post plan, but there is no one here on site to actually take control, and the defenders was just able to defuse it quickly without anyone noticing at all. The defuse, man.
Indeed. The defuse is it really worked well. So this is their second time, at least for this game, to actually defuse the spike without even if it's not necessarily killing everyone. So I guess the problem coming in from X10 is their post plant positions here into their attacking side. Sure, they are able to plant the spike, but unfortunately they aren't really able to secure the round in time, simply because of the various repositioning that's been happening, and the fact as well that they are quite scattered around the map, not being able to catch them or for that potential refrag. A bit too late as well. So that's gonna be another drone attempt here. Beautiful wall shower coming from Polly, just so that the peak is not gonna push through.
Rosie, I don't know, man, how she does with the snake bite as well, as she can't see anything. The Viper spit up and online already for the side of Aresta. This can cover the entirety of B site. Vulnerability for the side of X10, so they decide to actually just move out. Maybe decide to go on mid, take control of mid, and go all the way to A. But this is going to be the decision of X10 right now. They still have more than enough time to actually make that decision off. And with 40 seconds remaining, it seems like it's going to be a 5-man push on A. This is slow play. The thing is, Aresta, this is their strength. This is where they shine. When it comes to slow plays, that's how they do it. So let's see how can they deny X10 on actually pushing in.
Yeah, but at least at this point, they should have an idea that they have rotated already because of all of these utilities. So now look at the Hunter's Fury takes one. It's gonna be another. Alyssa is able to survive, but with 10 seconds already, this is the opportunity for Aresta to enter. But this is the Viper's pit though. But the snipe coming in from Baby TZ will shut down Sawa. The spike has been planted. Muffin as well with the second under that Viper's pit. They will destroy that wall here. Let's see how the entry is going to go. But Muffin is already ready. And look at Baby TZ's crosshair placement. Ginny from the behinds gets one. Will she get another? Because look at that. The position was able to turn the tides in the favor of X10Crit because of that play that they were able to decide to just rotate from B to A.
That's the thing. X10 is really good when it comes to the defense. We've seen it a while ago before the switch. And once they put in the spike being planted, that is immediately being in a defensive position. And that's where they shine. Now Aresta, when it comes to slow plays and when it comes to pickoffs, they can do that as well. But how far can they go? 12-6 already. One more round for X10 and they will take this first game away. And yet again, I would just like to remind the viewers, this is a map choice coming in here for the side of Aresta, if I'm not mistaken.
This is the map pick for Aresta, and later on in game number 2, it is going to be from X10. And Baby TZ quite had a slow pace early, but is now coming back online here in our attackers. So the wall's gonna be destroyed, but Alyssa's position was just in time to hide everything away. Nuki will take down Baby TZ, but she knows already the location. And look at that Toxin. That's gonna be the rest. That's a baited rest here beautifully to get Nuki down. Polly with a 2K. With that being said, ends our game number 1 in the hands of X10Crit.
X10 taking that first map away from Aresta immediately in very, very good fashion coming in here for the first game that we have. Man, that game, you could just see how confident X10 is and how difficult it is for Aresta to actually make some play. They can't open up sites a while ago during the time that they were the attackers. They played really slow, but it doesn't really work out. We've seen a fast play on the last round before the switch. It actually worked, but then they went slow yet again for the next remaining rounds. But for Aresta's side, maybe a second game would be another chance for a reset here.
But considering the odds right here, Terror, I think it's going to be quite another climb for the side of Aresta, knowing that this is not just X10Crit's map selection, but of course, again, we don't really have much stats on them with Breeze. So I'm really hoping that they do have something up on their sleeves prepared for this, because if not, this could be like the point once more for X10Crit. But then again, you know, anything can still happen towards our game.
Definitely true. As we look into it, that was our first game. Looking at the stats right now, Baby TZ just shine with this regards to this game that we have right here, from the defenders towards the attackers. The thing of having a chamber is you can just reposition yourself time and time again. Even if you're not a jet, you don't need those dashes out. You don't need to get those aim in or like dash in. All you have to do is have that rendezvous to actually hop out of the situation if ever you're stuck in it. And Baby TZ was able to capitalize on that. 24 kills, 10 deaths. Next to her is Rosie. Now, Rosie, she had a good performance on this specific map as well. You know, in an icebox map, it's always the Viper that would really shine through. And that definitely happened for the team of Aresta with Rosie on their team as well. But it just didn't work out in the end. X10 is just a stronger team.
Indeed, and not really faltering behind Polly as well. The Viper for X10Crit really performed exemplary, but being able to control the sites at will and being proactive with the alternations of whenever they position themselves alongside the Muffin. So all of these are just basically a work of art for X10Crit to be able to get the Icebox map into in their favor, despite it once again being an Aresta pick.
Oh, next map is gonna be Breeze. It is gonna be a long-range battle yet again. Will Aresta change up the pace, or will they still stay intact for the entirety of the rounds and stay on that position on a very slow play? We're gonna find out when we come back later on. Right now, we're just gonna go in a very short break. This is Valorant Game Changers Asia Pacific Series. We are your casters, Terror and Seiya. See you in a bit.
Two different teams, two different storylines, but with one goal. Welcome everyone to the Valorant Game Changers APAC Series FSL Open 2, and we are your casters for this afternoon. My name's Zaya, and with me is Tayrar. So right now we have just witnessed the battle between X10Crit and Aresta from our game number 1. Despite Aresta's map selection, X10Crit still stood up strong. And right now, in game number 2, with X10Crit's map selection, which is Breeze, one of the biggest maps as well, in towards our game, let's see if they will prevail that sweep or will Aresta force out a game number 3.
That's the thing. If they don't get this map, they're going to be taken away in the entirety right now of this open. This is the lower bracket that we are looking at, and a best of 3 setup. 1-0 is already the score. Like Saya mentioned, it's a 1-0 in the favor of X10 right now. And for Aresta, they have to make changes in how they play. The game style doesn't work out against X10. X10 is the sort of a team that can adjust on the fly, basing on how you play, on the pacing, and how your strategy is as a team. Now, looking at the Breeze map like this is gonna take a toll when it comes to entry. They have to have a good entry to be able to take control on sites.
Not really looking too back from the history of X10Crit. Let's just look at yesterday. Their yesterday's match was really dominating in favor of X10Crit, having that 13-5 scoreline. So with that being said, this is Breeze and their map selection as well. So I'm pretty sure they already have that aggression coming in from the side of X10Crit. The question that I would like to play in hand here is how Aresta is going to counter that said domination. But let's look very quickly on how they're going to choose their team. So I guess this is a same lineup of Aresta in the icebox. The only difference is that they don't have the Sage anymore. Rudius is going to play as the Chamber.
Surprisingly, I was assuming that Baby Teasy will actually pick at the Chamber again. But this time around, she's going to go for a Cypher pick. And the thing is, Baby Teasy plays really good on the Cypher. And knowing this is Breeze, she could just set up the camera and know and get all that information that she needs. She doesn't even need to tag anyone. She just needs that info. And aside from that, she can also set up traps for anyone who wants to flank out for the rest of the entirety of X10. For Aresta, picking that Chamber can make or break, and this is in the hands of Rudy's for this time around. Aresta, like I said, they have to make a big change of coming in from that first game a while ago. They need that confidence back as a team.
I agree with you on that. Baby TZ with the Cypher, it's also the one that she used from yesterday's match, if my memory reckons me. And the fact that this Cypher is also very much mobile or versatile around this map, specifically for Breeze, knowing that Cypher's kits are basically global, Baby TZ, I'm pretty sure, is just gonna be roaming around the map, especially if the rotate is need be. And you did mention it because the camera, the intel is very much important for the team. Not necessarily tagging them, not necessarily fighting against them. That information a lot is going to be crucial. For the side of Aresta, however, this Chamber, you did say it is the make or break, because I feel like this pick is a double-edged sword. It's like it could go a do or die situation, because if this Chamber is able to create sort of diversion play with the rendezvous, it could make wonders. But then again, the cons of this having Chamber is that it can be too predictable, especially with the audio cues at hand, and especially on how the mispositions or the timing is going to be here. So Rudis has to play not just in the map, but also play around with the minds of X10Crit here.
Definitely. And aside from that, when it comes to a Chamber, it's not only about the guns. Also, when you kill using that Chamber, you get to have that slow. And once an entry is killed, no one can follow up on that. They're going to be slowed completely out. So a Chamber is actually a good pick here for the side of Aresta. And I'm looking forward to see if it would definitely work out on their end. But the thing is, for X10, They have that advantage right now. For Aresta, all they have to do right now is to get back to the game and have that gap when it comes to X10, because when the gap goes just bigger, a little bit bigger for the side of X10, they just steamroll it. They just go and snowball all throughout the entirety of the map. It comes to a point where there are so many rounds to lose for X10. They could just quickly change up their tactics and try and test out what works for the rest of the team of Aresta. Now, for Aresta, they just have to make sure that that gap doesn't go way much.
Exactly. And hopefully we also get to see some interesting plays from Aresta here as well. Because even though we have been highlighting some of the cons for Aresta here, we will be facing the facts. It is quite of a pressure for Aresta because, again, the odds are not really in their favor at the moment. So, and knowing that the composition of X10Crit, I also just saw it now, they have the sky for flashes as well. So this could be very much beneficial in their initiating prowess, with Nuki being the only a blind source for the side of Aresta later on as they go to the attackers. That's going to be a pretty much challenging feat for them. But right now, let's go back to B side here. Beautiful wall coming in from Polly as usual, and the spike, just like that, not a minute to spare, is already planted.
Sawa was able to take one, and that is Baby Teasy out of the equation. But the players of X10 is already on site, like we see a while ago. They are in a mission right here. They are in the works. If they go into a site, plant immediately and then prepare for a pulse plant. In this pistol round, though, Polly was able to spot 3 players and kill them all. With a 2v2 situation, all they have to do right now is just defend that spike. Nuki was able to get 1, and Sawa to be able to continue. And Aresta takes this first round away from X10. This is exactly what they need, and they are getting it right now into a 1-0.
Indeed. So that was good positioning coming in from them. Although the rotations was a bit late, it worked favorable for Sawa simply because she was trying to flank, and it happens that she was able to spot out Baby TZ, who was also going into the same direction as her. And not that, also Nuki was able to get her own job by creating the distraction for Polly to place herself in backside just so Sawa can have the space to take her down from the behind. And that's actually a good teamwork coming in from that duel, that double duelist that Aresta has right now.
Oh, this can be a big factor as the judge comes in. No one to spot on. Nuki was able to get 1 though, and Mamba out it is. And this is the beauty of having that arena. You can just dismiss away and reposition yourself as well. In a 1-to-1 trade situation, it is on the side of X10, knowing that they are still on an eco round right here. They're being aggressive. Nothing to lose factor for X10 right now.
So the quick rotate call coming in from X10Crit is going to happen here. B is quite free right now, but with the Viper coming in as well, with Rosie places her toxins there. I think she spots out one from backside, but focuses her crosshair in towards this angle. The question is, will she be able to do this though? She wasn't flashed, but at the same time, Baby TZ had the space to get her from the backside.
Spike planted.
Reconning. Zengi. No one to spot right now, but there is one. That is Baby TZ. She was able to get 1 information. All she has to do is clear out each angle, though. Nuki in a very tight corner right there. Rudy's, on the other hand, can still get the shot in, but it's not connecting at all. The pistol is out already for her. And this is now a 3v1. Nothing you can do much here for Rudy's. And this anti-eco worked perfectly on the side of X10.
Indeed, and that was actually a very smart play coming in from X10. The fact that they were, again, creating a distraction. Ginny was in B main, so that the attention is on her. Now that gave time for Baby TZ to isolate the fights in backside and just took them down 1 by 1, leaving Rudy's alone with only a classic to work with. And again, getting that point for the side of X10.
This is now a game in the hands of both teams that we have right here. 1-1, that means X10 is gonna be able to buy some utilities, some guns as well for the rest of the team. They're holding on to a Guardian here, some Spectres, and one Vandal in the hands of Polly as well. So let's see if this can get an ROI or return of investment right now for the side of X10. This is a hero buy and already making sure that for the next rounds, they can have that Vandal in already and have that power coming in for the team. This blinding light or guiding light rather wouldn't spot anyone. No information gathered right now for X10, so they're still looking for picks right now. No one on A side though, completely none.
Mm-hmm. And with that opening, let's see how things are going to go. So far, X10Crit is doing a pretty good job in planting their spike, the spike quite quickly, and not even reaching
That's
a
the
minute
mission,
mark.
man.
Yeah, that's basically the mission. Like
They woke up and
know.
decided to plant
Yeah.
the spike each and every round.
Yeah, it's as if they're like working from home,
Working from home, man. They just turn on the PC and plant the spike, but this is the shots coming in from X10 right now as they get the pieces one by one. It all fits. X10 securing that round, making this a 2-1. Post-plan situation too difficult already, especially if you don't have information where the rest of X10 is.
Indeed, and so now we do see a very healthy economy for the side of BBCC for X10Crit and as well in general. So here they do still have some rifles to work with. Sawa, however, will be having a half armor at the moment. So here, I feel like X10Crit is just going to keep on repeating this cycle up until Aresta has some counter to play or to counter out that quick of a plant that is coming in from X10Crit. I notice, however, that Aresta is solely depending on the retake capabilities, but I feel like controlling the site could also leave them a huge factor in preventing our X10Crit in getting this site.
No info gathered on that recon as it was shut down immediately by Sawa. On the other hand, another spike planted by Alyssa. Come on! She really wakes up just to plant a spike right here. You know, Eliza's and Elisa's. We do it. We do the job.
Get the job done, and Alyssa once again takes one by taking Sawa. Baby TZ for a 2, Muffin for a kill of her own. Remaining Rudy's once again in the pack to be greeted by 3, and that is a flawless round from X10Crit. I think this is the start of the momentum of X10Crit here, simply because we did say this earlier that if they are given the chance or an opening to really pop off, they will be doing so.
Aresta, they need to find a space here. But the thing is, X10, they are on the attackers right now. They are the ones creating the space. How will they react? Because the timing for the side of Aresta, and the thing is for Aresta right now, even on game number 1, they are still playing on the cards of X10 here. They are in a reactive gameplay or game style where they just react to whatever X10 is doing right now. They have to hold down the fort and control what is happening in the entirety of the map. And that is only the first step on trying to make a comeback. Sawa on the flank was able to get 2 before she gets down as Baby TC was able to secure that kill. 2-1 trade. And now the ultimate, the neural theft was used. Information gathered for the side of X10 as they rotate. Going towards A probably, and maybe taking control of mid as they have the wall coming in from the Viper here as well.
Ooh, that
Ooh.
was so interesting. The wall was enough to cover their tracks here, but isn't enough though. But Nuki only has a chef to work with, and Baby TZ's already in the middle doors, wasn't able to turn around to safety, and now it's a 1v4. They do already know that Ginny is in the metal doors, but with that pixel peek, Nuki was able to be quick on her feet to get a thrifty.
They get the rounds in. Finally, for the side of Aresta, they played it out perfectly on that specific round as well. You can see how they had control over the map and how X10 decides to take control of mid. Yes, they do, but that wall instead, it saved them for a bit. But yet again, it is also the reason of their falter because they didn't see that Reyna behind them going across that wall as well. This is why a Viper wall is very much so a 50-50. It would either work out for your team or it would either work out for the other team or the team that you're going after of.
They're still eyeing out for A, which is interesting here for the side of X10Crit. But then again, I feel like they really want to more like condition the members of Aresta here if ever they do want to have a cheeky place of going in around the map. But that's going to depend on them. Muffin, however, will start it off taking Rosie down, who's been very much tedious to work with, especially with her kits. That's going to be the Seekers. Not going to get anyone at least, but they do have an idea to where they're positioned at with the help of that said Seekers. Baby TZ, however, will be taking advantage of that, taking one from behind Pyramid. Beautiful flash as Sawa also does have a trade over the up. That recon bolt, however, not enough as Baby TZ from the behind gets her down. Isengi, however, with a lot of corners to look at, didn't really have the time to react as Baby TZ just cleans up the crew for their fort.
Takes two to tango, but the only player remaining right there was actually the Sova. She was able to detect 3 members, if I'm not mistaken, but the thing is, you cannot do a follow-up immediately when another team member just died off and she needed that support. Unfortunately for the side of Aresta, X10 just has that firepower right now. Baby TC is still up and online on this specific map as well. She's getting the top frag over and over again, and she's looking to be unstoppable, of course, right now.
And why fix something that isn't broken, X10Crit says, and they'll just keep going on in here in towards A side using the drone here with, look at that follow-up from Muffin. So this is the beautiful strat that they have. A little bit of a whiff there from Muffin, and the other members spot her down, forces to use the dash in, but Alyssa will be taking down one. Muffin, beautiful trade as well with a kill of her own to dwindle everything to a 2v5.
2v5 it is. Aresta can't do so much about it now. They are on an eco, and this is already a post plan coming in from X10. All they can do is get that exit frags if they must. At least destroy the economy on the side of X10 a little. But they can't do anything much any longer here. All they can do is just wait it out and see what kills can they get. And this is the thing, if the gap just gets bigger and bigger, X10, we know it. They're just gonna snowball all throughout the entirety of the rounds that we're looking at, especially on the attacker side. They're really, really strong in getting those kills in and also making an entry towards sites. Baby TZ was able to secure 1 kill yet again.
Didn't even let them save at least any more that they could chew. But I think that kill from Baby TZ kind of worked at least for Rudy's, just so that their eco can be a bit more balanced out. Because you don't really want to save that Sheriff from that previous round. So right now, and that's also like at least economy for Baby TZ. So
she
again,
has lots of money. Don't worry about it, Saya. She kills
he's
20 deaths, 20 kills on the side of Aresta in 3 rounds, you know?
Indeed, indeed. And look at this, the aggression, the sudden change from cave to mid doors. I think this is getting them off guard. Nuki will be taking one before Polly for the trade. And this is what I've been saying about conditioning the players of Aresta. They've been so used to them being on a cave that now they didn't quite had that look in towards middle doors. Although the flank is here from Rosie, Alyssa quickly spots her out, denying the potential stealth.
It is Rosie all by herself right now. And again, there's nothing much she can do at this point. All she has to do right now is save that Vandal. The players of X10 actually knew her positioning a while ago already. And they want to pinch her down, but she's too far already. Now, the thing is, for the side of X10 right here, like you said, just conditioning the players of Aresta. Maybe Aresta was thinking, you know, they will probably go A again, go towards cave again. Psych! It's not going to be A. It's going to be mid-control for X10. And this just diminishes the factor of Aresta knowing whichever way X10 is going to go. And this can be just played out by X10 completely.
Indeed, and of course they do also have the B site, the mid control to B site, to consider whenever they try to take a hold of B site as well. So again, this is like X10Crit's playground at this point, and Aresta unfortunately not being able to tag them along to have any amount of outplay or counter actions for this. So the flash is going to work. We'll be at least flashing out Sawa in here in the process. So notice the slow push. This time they are eyeing themselves out for a cave here. Not sure about how they position themselves well, but look at that spray down that's going to come in from Sawa. We'll be able to cover up that recon bolt, I think, in time. But look at this. That's going to be another Leer, but the recon bolt from Ginny is enough, rather. Oh, at least from the Sova from X10 is going to be enough for them to get that intel going. The spike hasn't been planted yet because look at our minimap. They're basically on their way to get to B. And this is the mind games that we've been talking about. All of those presents, but still is able to go to the other side. However, Rosie is able to shut down the spike planter, but maybe TZ tries to get the avenge, but Rosie takes control. Jenny, however, will be taking down Sawa, and Alyssa takes Rosie from behind and leaving once again a single member from Aresta alive to try and make this work. But with the numbers advantage, I don't think it's going to work well for Aresta.
Oh, this is Isenki being spotted out by Muffin. They know the information already. They don't even need to fight. All they have to do is plant a spike, know that information, and just prepare for that post plant rather. And the thing is, if you watch the replay, I'ma tell you the strat book right now of X10. They recon in, they have the wall set up here by the Viper on B site. And then Muffin goes in on the right side of the pyramid. It's always the play, 100% of the time whenever they go into caves. And no one has ever stopped Muffin from going inside the site. And that's the big factor why they just keep getting shut down. They don't destroy the recon. On the other hand, they play on these angles where they can just be caught off guard. You saw how the Reyna was detected by the recon a while ago, and the angle she was covering was not behind the pyramids as well, and no one knows that Muffin is already on site.
Indeed, and that usage of utility just worked wonders for X10Crit right here. And also you have to consider how they're positioned. They're positioned in a favorable manner wherein they can really do those refrags, those double peaks quite well if ever one of their teammates are actually being taken down by their enemy. So it's as if they're playing, by their own rules here for the side of X10Crit. Now Aresta still not really finding that said kryptonite, that they can use against X10Crit. So look at this Trailblazer, may not be able to concuss the members, but still it took the job done in taking hints on where they are. So look at that beautiful cloud burst coming in from Muffin. The spike is planted. Not sure if Sawa is going to spot out. Maybe TZ. There's the whiff, but still gets the job done. She does have the Vandal to work with, but decides not to get it.
5 HP remaining for him. The shock dart, though, connects to Alyssa right there and just completely shattered away that position. But aside from that, this is Muffin seeing 3 players, was able to dash out, get that double kill in. Polly was able to secure one as well on the side, and this is now Izengi trying to punish one player, but there is nowhere to run right now for the side of Aresta as they all crumble on X10's feet. And this is an 8-2 scoreline immediately for the side of X10. The gap is just getting bigger and bigger.
And this is where, again, it started really off the moment that X10Crit had their streaks going in with that last 3 rounds in the first halves of the fight. And it just escalated from there, and Aresta didn't really had that much mobility to work with. You do take note, the members of X10Crit haven't fully utilized mid control yet. So if they are able to do that, Aresta needs to find an answer. But right now, them giving them the information that they are still in A, I feel like it's just making all the more advantage to the side of our attackers at the moment.
Snakebite just to try and delay whoever want to go in. But there's actually no one right now. Rosie, on the other hand, is just gonna hold into this tight corner, destroying all the utilities right now of X10, but it's still not enough just to destroy that Sova drone as well. Muffin, yet again, I tell you, 100% of the time she's always here. But this time around, Rosie was able to shut her down. Polly as well goes down in the hands of that Sova. On the other hand, this is already a flank coming in. Sawa was able to get one and punish one. This is now Ginny, the only man remaining, woman as I might say, remaining here for X10, trying to see if she can still get a kill in. He, or she rather, wouldn't be able to do so. Aresta takes it away in an 8-3.
They
They're
were
finally
able,
reading it.
yeah, they were able to break the streak coming in here against X10Crit, but it kind of took a bit too long. It kind of took 5 rounds before they get that groove going, but they still managed to get the job done. Now, look at how X10Crit is positioned here. Now they're eyeing out towards B. And I like it, however, that Aresta is not neglecting the capabilities of them having B as their route. It's just that because of them being used to A as much, the Seekers quite told them or quite telegraphed their position here. But with this quick take from X10Crit, this could be another, quick plant from them, which is happening now. And the Viper Spit is also in position. Alyssa, however, is going to be detected by the Recon Bolt. So let's see if it works wonders for Aresta in trying to take her down.
The wall of the Viper already set up for the side of Aresta, ready for the retake. Sawa was able to spot two, get those kills immediately. The overheal was inside for the Reyna. Yuki was able to get one yet again and just dismissing right in front of the enemy. And this is Aresta doing a complete retake. Now we see why X10 doesn't go to B site.
And we are seeing as well that Baby TZ not really popping off as much in comparison with our game number 1 right here. But although Baby TZ was able to get her job done, there are some moments that we can see that Baby TZ is being taken down from her behind, or sometimes her mispositioning is off time just so that Sawa and the rest of the gang are able to take her down. So she isn't really her utilities are not really quite used into its fullest extent. Because I did see some of the tripwires as well from the entrances of B, which wasn't really used because again she was picked off quite easily in the fight, which could have changed the story on their last B site take. But for now, 4-8 and the dream. This used to be a curse scoreline, so let's see if Aresta can climb their way up into these scoreboards now that the sides are going to switch.
It took them some time before they actually realized that Muffin always goes in that spot. We've seen it time and time again. You've seen it on that latter part of the round as well. And that is the big difference. They were able to shut down Muffin on that specific round. That's why they were able to get it away. But the thing is, it's the same factor yet again from the first game. The gap is too big already, and this is a make or break situation. A best of 3 series where 1-0 is already the score on the side of X10. The lower bracket is here. The pressure is definitely on, and the pressure is definitely being felt by the side of ARS here, as they need to come back. And if they don't, they actually are going to be done and over with the series right now. On the other hand, for the side of X10, they have many rounds to lose. They can just try whichever works for the rest of the team. And the thing is, X10 has that good positioning, power capability, and also good decision making when it comes to defending the sites as well.
Exactly. So right now, that earlier was basically X10Crit into their attacking side. It really went well for them being able to play around the map here. The conditioning of them just basically staying in towards the site before they get able to transfer to another. But it took some time, but Aresta was able to make it work. But here, as the side switches, anything can still happen. We did kind of witness it earlier in game number 1 that there was some shed of light for Aresta once the side switches. Now the question is, will that light really flow away to game number 3, or would X10Crit just completely let them come crashing down as they dominate this attacking side, knowing that that this defender side, or knowing that X10Crit has this really huge amount or the capability to control the side, specifically with the poly.
The first step towards that is actually taking this pistol round. And aside from that, on this specific map that we are looking at as well, Sawa seems to be online. So she is able, or she was able to get those kills that are very essential for the rest of the team of Aresta. And if she can do that on an entry, this is a big change coming in from Aresta, and this is quite possible. Two players tagged out with that recon. Are they going to be able to actually secure the kills with that information? Polly was able to get a kill instead. 4v3 situation running right now is X10 trying to defend the site in a post-plant position though for Aresta. 20 HP remaining for Izengi and a full HP for the Viper. But the thing is, it's all cleared out already. They're just gaining on this post-plant situation, on this lineups that she has. They all know where she is, and they can just continue diffusing this in whichever way they can. Sandwich is there. The kill is there. Rosie to secure 2, but not enough to actually take the round. X10, they're bringing this to a 9-4 scoreline.
Indeed, they didn't really want that to be too much complacent, despite having the round advantage at this moment. So because this pistol round went in towards their hands, so it's safe to say that both of our teams won the respective pistol. With Aresta winning the first half, and this time X10Crit winning the second one. So because of this weaponry advantage now in the side of X10Crit, it is safe to assume that this could be their game again. But Aresta had their moments wherein they got themselves a thrifty. So let's just see if it's going to work once again here. Or will X10Crit just completely, try to take that factor away from them?
So with Shock Dart, there is no one there though. And this is now X10 gathering around. Baby TZ was able to spot one yet again. This is what I'm talking about when it comes to the camera. She tags one, knows the information, and while she's busy taking off that recon, or rather that detection, other players are just moving forward. The rest, a 2v1 situation right now, as Polly left alone trying to defuse the spike, but she has no information wherever the other remaining members of Aresta is. A good positioning from Aresta, a good post plant, making this a 5-9 and a good anti-eco as well.
Indeed, and again, the capabilities of Aresta into taking these fights, just regardless of the weapon that they use, is also one of the strengths that they have. The fact that they were able to win this one out, this also is a really good morale boost to them. Like really saying that it's not really that over just yet. And the difference this time around for Aresta's defenders from X10Crits, at least for that previous round, was that I feel like X10 quite invested themselves too much on mid-site, just leaving Aresta in a good position to just take him down one by one. So right now they are doing it once again, going in from backside, not gonna spot out anyone at first, which is quite the thing here, because they don't really have that guns to work with to fully position themselves in the best of times.
Izengi spotting one, killing Muffin out. Removing her from the equation can be a big thing for the side of Aresta right now. It seems like they've warmed up from the previous rounds that we saw them. And this is Ginny being shut down immediately. One more remaining player, and that is Polly yet again, alone, surviving. Only with the Marshall will she be able to get a kill, at least make it a trouble for the side of Aresta. No, that is the answer of Sawa, as they take this to a 6-9 score.
Indeed, so it looks like they are coming in crawling for the scoreline, but now they're starting to walk. Sawa, we are seeing some good highlights on her right now, trying to clean up the crew here on behalf of her team. And although Baby TZ is still on top of the charts alongside with Muffin here, we're seeing a slight tone down in terms of their performances in their aim duels. But then again, I did say because weapon advantage is the factor. So now that they have rifles to work with here for the side of X10, do you think that this could be, a win for X10, or do you think that Aresta may have had something on their mind right now?
Well, this is now a waiting game for the side of X10. They're realizing that the score gap is getting closer and closer. Only 3 more rounds to make it to a tie. And X10 trying to change their positioning right here, being aggressive on mid. They have control over on mid as Ginny is right around the corner. So they have that information very much so. They are not detecting anyone or hearing anyone from B, and compiling themselves on towards A side is Aresta. This is kind of crucial right now for the side of Aresta. They need to make a good opening kill to make sure that they are going to be able to plant the spike completely and just make that post plant happen. As the wall goes down and no one to hop out, and this is Polly just waiting on the corner as well. Very slow play, back to the slow and back to 0 right now for the side of Aresta. Trying to reset, trying to make it to a tie. There is someone detected. Sawa was able to take down Muffin. A big opening for the rest of the team, but is it gonna continue as Polly being shut down? Nuki to get a kill instead. 3v2 situation. This is still winnable for the side of X10. They just have to find that information. And speaking of, Neural Death was used, but no one to actually get the kill in as the timing was definitely off. Ginny left alone in the corner was able to get one. She still had that guiding light that she can definitely use. She can play out on this Viper Spit as well, but for how long as she tries to crawl into the site. This is now the guiding line, no one to be detected. She gets that last kill and to the next. This is the last remaining player right now, the Viper on the side of Aresta, holding that post plant position. Rosie on the corner, waiting slowly but surely as the Viper's wall. Viper Spit going down, the timing perfect for Ginny as they take the round and make it to a 6-10 score.
Oh, that was so close. And point 64. Clutch for Ginny as well. She was able to literally play around the Viper Spit. I feel like there was a bit of a comms from Polly as well, like try looking outside the Viper as well, because that is also what Polly does. You know, it takes one to know one. And maybe that information was shared with Ginny, and when maybe, you know, when she tries to attempt it, she already spots her out at a very good angle. So with that consideration into play, you also have to commend Ginny here for being quick-witted in terms of her aim, because that is one of the basically the factor to win her out of that 3v1 situation. So because of this 6-10 economic disparity is showing here, look at all these utilities, tries to enter the cage, but maybe TZ is taken down by Izangi. Look at that flash, bit of a whiff. Sawa takes the advantage as well as she takes one down. Now Aresta has the manpower and basically the guns too. So that's going to be the recon vault, but Sawa takes one. Muffin for the trade. Rosie takes Polly as well, leaving Muffin alone with this 4v1. Takes Sawa down. It's going to be another. Spots out the Reina from the back side here. Changes the gun, knowing that she doesn't have much bullets to spare in that Vandal. So look at this. We do see little bit of a corner
discipline
here. Yeah, trigger discipline, as you mentioned. But the crossfire is quite real for both Rudy's and Nuki. So this is a wise decision for Muffin to just save the Phantom.
It is gonna be a save, nothing much to do here, but a good play coming in from Sawa right there, and the Rosie connection as well. They were doing a bait and switch, and aside from that, like I said, Sawa up and online finally, and this is exactly what Aresta needs right now. In a timeout like this, it must be suitable for both teams because this is a very close match indeed. It's not too far off right now, and this timeout is actually on the side of X10. They're realizing that Aresta, they're slowly but surely getting there and also taking control of the sites.
Mm-hmm. So this timeout is actually pretty good for X10, even though that they are the ones basically in an advantage in terms of scoreline. They don't really want to be complacent, and we are starting to see that some of their plans are not really working in towards their favor. Whilst Aresta here are doing some interesting plays on their favor in terms of their attacking. It's very much cheeky in some cases, but using the usage of metal doors was very much efficient for them because it kind of took X10Crit off guard. They weren't able to see the lurking Sawa from their behinds, and right now I guess this is also a good opportunity for X10Crit to reset their mindset as well, to try and take a little bit of a breather here, to try and set things in a tone that favors them.
Just 3 more rounds. It's all that they need right now for the side of Aresta. They're trying to make it work, and so far, their decision is going on their side, and also the favor is going on their side in the previous rounds that we are looking at as well. And as we head into this 18th round that we have right now on our screen, Nuki was able to get that 2K immediately. That is punished. That aggression is punished on the side of X10. This is the thing with X10. They're being impatient right now on the defense.
I agree with you on that regard, and you have to take note. They are on eco here, and not really the best bet to just really show your heads off like that. But Sawa and Isengi takes the kill of their own, and a flawless round from Aresta is going to happen. 2 more rounds, and this could be a tie.
Just 2 more rounds, like you said. And for the players of Aresta, they are looking pretty great right now, pretty strong, as I would say. But still, that's 2 more rounds to go, and that's 2 more rounds that they need to catch up on. X10, once you go on that double-digit score line, you only need 2 more to basically secure that the rounds and also the match point. So it's very, very crucial for both teams as Aresta is trying to pinch down the enemies, and Nuki up and online as well. The 2 duelists, the double duelists finally working hand in hand to make the rounds happen, as Baby TZ is the only player right here on backside. Aside from that, with the help of the Sky as well, they have control over mid and halls, but the players of Aresta, it seems like a split push is happening right now.
And again, once more, they are utilizing metal doors. I like it, however, how Alyssa this time goes in towards the site. And just in time, Sawa is just here, uses the drone. And I feel like Sawa has an idea already at this point. Spots out as well, but tries to take that gun instead. This is the recon bolt, but is easily destroyed. That's gonna be the Hunter's Fury. It's that she's not gonna be forced to escape there, but not in the hands of Alyssa as she takes her down. And as well, Muffin, once that door was open, worked well for her, but there's the trade happening from Rosie and Nuki in metal doors as well. But Muffin takes her down. Rudy's for the trade, 2v2, and the Dream Trailblazer spots out Nuki from the right side of the pyramid. The Empress is alive once more, and here we do witness right now a very interesting 2v2 fight here. Baby TZ takes Nuki down, as well as her ult here. Now I guess this is a crossfire from the 2 of them. Baby TZ spots out Rudy's in towards Cave. That's gonna be a fake defuse to be double peeked by them. Beautiful strat there as they take their 11th point.
The first crumble for the side of Aresta is actually being able to punish one player, and that is Sawa, who is actually making the space for the entirety of the team. Over and over again, all the rounds that they've won, Sawa is the opening kill, and aside from that, Nuki as well. And shutting down these 2 players is already a good sign for the side of X10. And like I said, this double-digit score is just gonna go up and up. Nothing but nowhere to go but up is what I would say. And 1 more round is what they need to get that match point already and secure that match point, maybe get the win, or maybe go into overtime as well. As long as they secure that, they're gonna be happy about it already. As Aresta, this is now the pressure completing off for the rest of the team. Muffin securing 1 kill. She wasn't going for that kill, but yeah, I'll take it.
I like the repositioning as well coming in from Muffin, knowing that there are more than 1 players who tries to enter into that site. So look at all of these, taking the hits, uses the flash just to force them out of B site. But the question is, where are they leading them into? Because right now Nuki and Rudy's are being double peeking themselves out. Alyssa spots out the Reyna, and I don't think it's very wise for them to do the peeking, but instead let them let the crosshairs, let those heads go into your crosshair at the moment. Because Aresta, take note that they are on the attacking side. So long as that spike isn't planted yet, X10Crit does have the time, but I feel like, as you mentioned earlier, we're trying to witness a bit of an impatient factor from X10Crit here, really wanting those kills up and running. Look at that Hunter's Fury for the one. Jenny will take Nuki down. Rosie for the trade. Muffin used the updraft, but Rosie takes 3, and only Polly, being the only member alive, will be detected by the camera of Chamber, and Isengi goes for the finish. 9-11 to our points. Aresta does not want to let this go just yet.
Not yet done is what they say for the side of Aresta, as they take that 9th scoreline as well in their hands. They're not going to let X10 get that match point as far as I'm concerned. They are forced on a position where they have to eco, and this is the Marshall coming in for Baby TZ, and the others will just stick to their own guns. We have the classic, which is definitely free. If it's free, you take it. That's the Filipino way. But there are Thai themes. So I mean, it's free. Who doesn't like free stuff?
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I mean, who wouldn't want it, right? So now look at this. Muffin will be taking one down. Polly for the trade, not being able to see Rosie there, as Muffin is going to be taken down. 3 versus 4. X10Crit does have the manpower. There's the Viper spin over there, will be spotted by Nuki as Nuki takes Polly down. And 3 versus 3 to equalize the board. There is the Viper spit right now. Alyssa spots out one in the corner, so that should be information. Rudy's, however, will be taking Baby TZ down from the backside. And let's see how these two teams take it down. Because of that stomp, Rudy's heard it and just took advantage. And there is the ping. Now they can crossfire this, but they will be doing it right now because Alyssa is just basically pinned down. And because of this, only one more point in terms of the scoreline will be lead to a tie. But unless X10Crit finds the way to get into match point, Aresta seems to be pretty good here in towards our Breeze map.
Definitely true. They are on a double-digit scoreline here yet again, and they only need one more round to actually make it up to X10. And remember, before we started this matchup, there's no statistics whether Aresta is actually good in Breeze or not. But it seems like there's 2 factors to consider here for Aresta. First is that they are good in Breeze. Second is that they are really good on the side of the attackers on side of Breeze. So with regards to this, it might be their pocket pick. Their pocket strats are coming out finally for the side of Aresta. But one thing another, Muffin sees 2 players just crossing, and she didn't fire the shot. But remember, these 2 players actually saw her out as well. They have to move fast in order to not for X10 not to relocate these members towards B side, as Baby TC is just waiting around the corner. Sawa gets the first kill, looking to find another. On the backside is Ginny, just waiting around the corner. Wrapping around her is Sawa as well for the triple kill. It's not gonna happen as Ginny shuts him out. But this is now Muffin taking a kill as well. Just trades after trades happening right now with the 3v2 situation. Seeker are out for the side of X10 right here with a 3v1. Rudy S getting that kill. Polly is the only player remaining, and Rudy's just gonna shut her down completely. 11-11, make a wish.
11-11 make a wish for Aresta, of course, to try and force it to game 3. For X10, of course, they would still like the sweep. And it seems like it's anybody's game right here for game number 2 Terror. And I really love the positioning of Aresta back there from B site. The fact that their crossfires really worked so well for them that it really didn't give Polly a chance to react with that regard. So right now, X10Crit, you may want to try to mix things up a bit, because you did mention Muffin was able to see 2 from that spawn from earlier, so they could have done something about that. The drone not gonna spot out Muffin in this very corner, so let's see if this cheeky play works out for her.
I think it did though, but yet again, it is a Bucky. If it doesn't connect the first time, you need to get the second up and online, but it's not gonna happen as Sawa was able to take the kill instead. Shutting out the players and also the utilities coming in here for Aresta. It proves to be difficult for X10 to actually shut it out.
We are seeing this quite a pattern for X10 that they're having quite a hard time to really close out the fights here, specifically when they're on the defender side. So they are able to make it to a 4v3, but up to what extent though? Alyssa was able to take a look, but Nuki still takes 2, and Rosie just to clean up the pack. Now they are the ones in the match point.
Exactly. This is what I'm talking about. X10, their goal right now is to make it to a 12 score. Because if that happens, you're basically secured for a match point, and aside from that, for an overtime. But it is a different story right now because Aresta is actually the one on match point. This is a huge comeback coming in from the team in an 8-4 scoreline, if I'm not mistaken, from the previous first half that we had. And Sawa definitely making up for the team and really, really making it work for the entirety. Now, to consider if they are going to an overtime, Aresta will start off on a defense. And we know that the defense that they have isn't pretty much strong against X10.
I agree. The curse still lives on right here as they were able to make the magic work. So right now, we still don't know who will be getting this one. But for X10Crit, there is added pressure onto them because they were able to lose out simultaneous rounds from earlier. So right now, look at how both of the teams are just passive at the moment, really wanting the Peaker's advantage to pull through. Wall was placed up quite late into the early parts of the game, and Muffin starts it off. Sawa is already inside mid doors, but Baby TC takes one, but Nuki not gonna get her death in vain as she takes one. Make it another for Muffin as well, but will be spotted by Nuki, so now it's a 2v2. But both of the teams are in spawn for X10Crit, and now the spike hasn't been planted just yet. I feel like Nuki has a hunch that they are in towards the bridge. That's gonna be the toxin to be placed here. A little bit of a health depleted there, down to 90. Let's see, they're buying for this time. And I feel like Nuki has to plant this already. If not, it's not going to work well for them. So going to place it up in front of Pyramid, but Ginny is already there to the rescue. And now the Trailblazer spots out the chamber. Rudy's will be flashed, but there's no time to plant. And there we have it, Terror, the overtime for game number 2.
There are just moments in life where you just say like, oh man, the decision was not good. And that definitely happened on the side of Aresta. They decided to wait it out completely and shutting down the player who wants to plant the spike in 10 seconds or 9 seconds remaining. Not even enough time to actually take control of the spike yet again. And they gave enough space for X10 to actually rotate all the way from B. If they planted a spike immediately, it would have been a better post-plant position, but mistakes happen, and immediately they don't know that information as well. So with regards to Aresta, you live and you learn.
Indeed. I feel like they were too focused on watching the corners that they kind of they really neglected the fact that the time really is ticking in towards their side. So this is going to be the first overtime with Aresta as their defender side. So let's see how X10 is going to play around this map. They've been very much advantageous into their attackers. Polly will be planting the spike, aided with Muffin here if ever, you know, the protection is there. Shock Dart will be placed, not gonna hit anyone, uses the Cloudburst to deny that recon bolt, but is going to detect a lot, actually. So right now, Rosie still takes Ginny down from the flank. Is Zangi for a trade of her own? What is this? What is happening to the post-plant positions here? That's going to be the toxins down, but they were able to have to fuse it. So now they have to basically go in a light. That's going to be a defuse. They should be hearing this, but they don't have the time. The angle is there, but the clutch with that time to spare. Oh, Sawa was able to do so much for the team.
Oh, I was saying before that on the side of Aresta, on their defense, it's not too good. And this time around, they actually make a way to have it. And the diffuse that they had right there, the lineups for the Viper on the side of X10 was definitely up and online, but it's not enough to cancel out the diffuser. And also at the same time, the spike was planted behind. And the thing is, you cannot see on that specific angle that they were holding where this diffuser of the spike is, and they just completely directly just diffuse the spike, and Aresta getting that lead right now. We may go to game number 3. It is in the hands of X10 to make a play happen, and the thing is, this is on the defense right now. They have to have a good defense as Sawa hops in. There is the detection for the 2 players, 16 HP remaining, and no one to cover right now for B side, and Polly just around the corner, and now Sawa sees him out, but this is the shutdown coming in from Polly instead. 1-to-1 trade happening on site right now with a 3v3 situation. Low on HP is the Cypher as she goes down in the hands of Rosie.
This is so interesting, but Muffin, however, from the flank, was able to get one down to equalize the board. Take note that Rudy's is also very low on HP. The spike has not yet been planted. Izengi from the side is able to take Muffin down, and now Alyssa, being the only member alive, will spot out Izengi, but they already have an idea to where she is right now, and we're just gonna have to see. Coming in from the backside, and now she teleports way back to B main, and now it's up to Alyssa to make things work. That's gonna be the fake diffuse. Spots out Izengi at the perfect time, and beautiful clutch in from X10Crit. Alyssa made the dream, and now we are on to the second over.
It's not yet done. It's not yet over. X10 makes a way, finds a way to make a clutch happen. And that is in the hands of Alyssa right here. 13-13 is the score. A lucky number, I would say. Some wouldn't say so, but
Yeah.
it's my birthday, so it's lucky.
Of course.
I'm biased like that,
Yeah,
you know?
we have our own preferences, you know. And with that, this is actually a very good call for a timeout for the side of X10Crit. And this is pretty interesting. From all the duration of our Breeze play, I kind of expected Aresta to actually, you know, call a timeout, at least for the first half and second half. But this time, X10Crit were the ones who used their timeouts respectively. So this is actually pretty good coming in from Aresta. Not being able to be faltered down or to dwindle their morals despite the odds, not really in their favor. And X10Crit here, this is also an understandable timeout because again, if the reset needs to be, then let it be done. And this timeout and this game is going to be crucial for both sides of the team once again.
I feel like X10Crit has something special to actually do in this specific round. They might pull out some strat books here and there because this timeout, not only for a reset but also to map out, since they're playing in a double overtime already, they probably know where the players are. And for X10, if they have the same strat book right here, they're going on a site because that's the most sustainable one as well. Muffin will just do the same thing. It's either that or do something different. But it seems like they're going and planning to go on B site instead. Just
Indeed,
making one remaining player on A though.
Oh! And quickly shuts down Nuki, who's been very much one of the tedious members to work with here. And I like the early deny of the recon bolt as well coming in. So that kind of diminishes the info. Rosie will be detected by the drone. Look at that wallback prowess. And they're not able to shut down that recon ball completely. Muffin from the behind will be spotting out one. There's going to be another there. Taking that double, putting it in their favor. And now it's a full-on retake for Rudy's, but Rudy's will be spotted out by Ginny, and Metal Doors will be using the flash in there, will not decide for the push, make it a double flash once again, trying to blind out Rudy's, but the other members already know the location, so they don't necessarily need to fight.
5v1 situation. It's all up to Rudiest right now. Someone to find in the mid, and rather in halls, that is Ginny. But not enough to actually punish her out. And at the same time, if you punish Ginny right there, you still have to kill 4 remaining players for the side of X10. It's quite impossible for the side of Aresta at that point, and all they have to do right now is put a sticker on and crying. Crying cat.
Indeed. But here again, it is back to X10. It's as if we're having a seesaw at the moment here in terms of the score line. But right now, X10 was able to bring back their advantage point here. But up to what extent? Again, you have to take note. The defender side of them was quite strong, so they have to really utilize it right now. That's gonna be the Leer, but without the flash, it delayed their push. They kind of set back right there, and also the cage was quite helpful as well. So that's going to be Rico. I'm not gonna really go in towards our map at the moment. So with Sawa and the gang just trying to hurdle themselves up together here. They do have the time to at least take another side or try to rotate, but look at how X10Crit is positioned. Look at that. That's going to be the tripwire. Jinny takes one. Nuki and Rosie for the trade of their own. 3 versus 4 now. Look at that shock dart. Will dwindle some amount of health. Alyssa uses the drone for some information. Checks one down. Checks another from B main. So they should be able to get these information properly. They haven't seen one as well. But Zengi takes Alyssa down. That's going to be Muffin for one. Uses the cloud burst to isolate the fights. I don't think she spotted out Nuki as well. But goes into backside. But Nuki, quick on her feet, gets that kill. And looks like we're on to another overtime.
It's never gonna end. Actually, we're waiting for the mainstream to end. That's why we're going overtime. But, ladies and gents, this is Aresta versus X10Crit, and we are looking at the third overtime already. And the positioning of the players, they quite know already whichever way the remaining team members will go. And aside from that, it's just boiling down to the battle of the duels right now. Who's gonna win the duel? Who's not gonna win the duel? That is the question right now for the rest of the team, and they are using the same playstyles as we have seen from the previous rounds as well. And if it is the same, Muffin will just go through with Recon coming in, and she will just hop in, and this Recon will detect her instead. They've learned from their mistakes, and this is Aresta repositioning themselves right now with the rendezvous up and online as well. And this is a 4v4 rather, for the both teams. So we have Baby TC was able to spot one, Nuki on the other, overheal up and online, and this is a kill for her as well. In a 4v3, they need to get that upper hand. They need to get that advantage. Right behind them is Polly, though. Izen was going down, and Alyssa was able to spot one with the shock dart. And now with a 1v1, it's all up to Alyssa and Rudy's. And Rudy's will be down, and Alyssa to secure the triple on this round and secure the defuse, or rather the spike being planted. The round for X10. Comfortable looking.
This is quite interesting. I was about to say that knowing that they've been doing that kind of strategy, as you mentioned time and time again, I feel like they should be able to, have some minor adjustments to it, because Aresta has already, adapt to that said fight. But I feel like X10Crit was really much pushing for this said strategy to work. Maybe because they have another thing in mind. But I feel like if they do that once again, it wouldn't really work this time in the hands of Aresta. So this time, Aresta will try to go in towards middle doors. But this drone coming in from Alyssa, not sure if they are able to spot out one, but they should be very much quick-witted on their feet. So Aresta's game style here is that they don't want to be detected. They want that stealth. But let's see if it works, because Ginny spots out one from mid. So Alyssa, her initial response here is that she should be ready in towards that fight. Recon Bolt denied.
Wow.
Alyssa takes one. Look at all of these strats just happening to and fro in towards the map. Alyssa may not know, but Muffin already takes Rosie down. Make it another here. Could this be their match point here? Could this be the match that they've been looking for?
Like I say, it all just boils down on whoever wins that aim duels, because there's only a few ways you can entry on site, and this is now the spike being dropped right in front of this crossfire that Baby TZ and Muffin is holding on right now. 2 remaining players for the side of Aresta, and others are really free to roam around the map. Baby TZ was shut down, and Ginny on the corner, but it's not gonna be enough, as there are other players for X10 waiting to see who will go out and who will hop about X10Crit secures this game and secures this best of 3 series in a 2-0 fashion in the lower bracket as well.
Indeed. So X10Crit female still is in towards their tournament journey to fight it up to whoever wins in the other lower bracket in towards that fight. And right now, GG's still to Aresta. They really put on a show. They were able to at least let us know that they too have something up their sleeves towards Breeze. And although they weren't able to win their Icebox map, still, I pretty sure that they did try their best, and the fact that they made it to top 8, it's already a big factor for them. But later on, we'll be seeing the scoreboards of how things happened. And look at right now in towards that specific graph right here, we do see Muffin really popping off with that 32 heads. Nuki as well also shed some limelight here, creating some space for the team and also backing them up whenever need be. But highlighting Muffin here with an ACS of 325 as well, with 7 first bloods. Rosie as well, you gotta commend her. Look at that 10 plants and look at all of that assists as well for the side of Aresta. But then again, X10Crit was able to basically place themselves to victory.
The players of X10 here, they have the clutch genes, as we call it, and it's definitely showing. And that is X10 winning this series right here in Game Changers Asia Pacific series as well. And they are moving forward and waiting to see, like you mentioned a while ago, whoever wins on the other bracket as well. And aside from that, the players that we have right here for Aresta, going here in the Breeze map, we weren't so sure on how they will actually play it out and how they will falter against X10, because a lot of people are actually assuming, or rather predicting, that X10 is probably one of the team that will head to the grand finals or will go up again in the grand finals as soon as they are able to. But looking at this second map, it seems very crucial for X10, and the Aresta was able to take it into a triple overtime even.
Indeed, and it took quite a while for X10Crit to really secure this game number 2, but still they were able to get the job done. And again, congratulations to them. It was really quite difficult, and I'm pretty sure Aresta really put up a great fight.
Definitely true. And aside from that, it is a GG for Aresta that we have right here. And X10 definitely staying here in Game Changers Asia Pacific series. And that is basically it for the match that we have right here. And aside from that, for the viewers that we have a main channel, by the way. And that is on Twitch and also on Facebook Live. So whichever platform you are or you want to watch, and it's available basically. And it's all ongoing right now for Game Changers as well. But of course, looking at, and we were mentioning it already, on how X10 will falter here in the brackets right now, let's take a look on how they will look like and who are they looking forward in a matchup, as this is day number 4 for the playoffs. SMG and AECL, or Alter Ego Celeste, waiting above right here for their matchup. And on the mainstream, Bren Esports Victress was able to go on a matchup against ZOL Meraki. And this is the result. This is a 2-0. And for the side right now on here on our stream, it's also a 2-0. So now they're facing off against Bren.
Indeed. So this is a rematch from the previous match 4 of the upper bracket. Bren, Victress, and X10Crit once again to fight. But this time they don't really have that +1 life point this time, because both of them are in the lower brackets, so only one of them can reign victorious here in towards our lower bracket, and to potentially face off into the finals. But right now, those are the road map, at least for this week here in the FSL Open 2.
Definitely. Now you've seen what will happen, what the bracket looks like. It's going to be a very grueling matchup in the next following days as well. But that is basically it for our broadcast here in the Game Changers, or Valorant Game Changers Asia Pacific series. This has been your casters. Thank you so much for tuning in with us, rather. My name is Taylor. With me is Seiya. And of course, thank you again so much for being here with us. Good luck for all the players remaining here in the brackets and here in the open. And see you again soon. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.